Y'all wasn't expecting us to be on time. Y'all wasn't even expecting us to be on time, but we are. It's another episode of that Victory Talk podcast, you heard? This is episode 155. Let's get it started. Hell yeah. Y'all wasn't expecting us to be on time. Y'all thought y'all was ready to show up at 7:30. But we here today, man. We got special guests, man. We're gonna introduce in a minute. We got a lot of stuff we want to talk about today. This is episode 155 of the Victory Talk podcast. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 now. At 7, for real now. Now it's for real. All right, you know what it is. Of course, I'm your humble and gracious host, Big Brandon Carter, King Keto, the King of Ketosis, Gymnasium Jesus, Jesus de Gimnasio para Viente. And I'm joined by my co-host, Nima. You know what it is.
Let's go. Super excited.
You know what I'm saying?
155.
And then, we got my girl, Minovia. She over here manning the super chats. You know, so if you read this, if you give a super chat, we gonna read it on the pod. She gonna read it, right? And on some real shit, that's the closest most of y'all gonna have to having a bad bitch like pay any attention to you. You know what I'm saying? At all. And that's what's up, man. It's Halloween, so it's like, you know what I'm saying. I wore the fucking the orange shit. You know what I'm saying, like a pumpkin spice caramel latte on these hoes. You know what it is. All right. Before we get into it, we got some sponsors, Nima.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. It took us 155
We got some sponsors. So the first sponsor is the newsletter Big Money Methods. It's a newsletter that accompanies the podcast. And you click the link in the description, put your email in here, then hit subscribe. And twice a week, you're going to get emailed articles on methods to help you get big money. You know what I'm saying? We kept it real simple for you motherfuckers, you heard? All right. And it's written by me and the homies. You know what I'm saying? I wrote an article about how I got the fucking standing desk in the treadmill. You know what I'm saying? Stay ripped on these hoes, right? The homie Chris, one of my top salespeople, he wrote some shit called the 90-91 rule. You don't even know what the fuck that is, man. You need to read it, figure it out. Stop being poor, right? Then we got my man Scene. I know it's supposed to be Sean, but he doesn't spell it right. So I'm going to say it phonetically. Scene wrote, how much money can you make flipping storage units? Man, there's a lot of ways to get money out here, man. If you poor, it's your fault. We got motherfuckers out here flipping storage units and you sitting around being poor for no reason, man. Be ashamed of yourself. Martin Luther King wasn't getting his ass kicked every weekend for you to be sitting around being broke. You need to flip you some storage units and find out how with your broke ass. All right. So anyway, subscribe to the motherfucking newsletter and find out how. All right. We got one more sponsor. Nima, did you know that? We got another one.
No.
All right. So this has been a product that me and Nima have been working on behind the scenes, incognito, clandestine. We wasn't telling a lot of people about it, right? Because we wanted to keep it under wraps until it was ready. I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast before. I'm gonna be honest with you, but we're coming out with a new product. Pre-order is going to start next month. It's really coming out. Pre-order is going to start next month, right? And it's Thot Repellent. This is the easy to apply spray to keep the hose away, right? Because once you really start balling, making a lot of money, and you get fucking ripped and shredded, you ain't gonna be like, oh, how do I get girls? You're gonna be like, damn, man, it's too many girls. What the fuck do I do? You spray yourself with Thot Repellent, right? This will keep them off you, brother. Right now, it's been Nima. He went back. I remember he was gone from the podcast for a little while because he was in Iran, the motherland.
Yes, sir.
where he's from. And he got together with some Iranian scientists, the good ones.
The good ones, yeah.
The good ones, some friendly Iranian scientists, not the ones who be on that other shit. Not the ones that Benjamin Netanyahu's afraid of, right? We meant like the good ones, the cool ones, man. Some cool Iranian scientists, the friendly ones. And they genetically engineered this so it doesn't affect the DNA of good women, right? It only repels thots, hoes, sluts, tramps, Jezebels, skanks, skeezers, hood rats, and P. Diddy's ex-girlfriends. That's it. Everyone else, it's no big deal, right? This is a real product that's coming out. All right. When is pre-launch going to start?
Within the next month, the pre-orders should open up.
Pre-orders next month, man. It's going down. All right. So all your super chats go towards the development of this, right? We need y'all. We crowdfunding this shit. So every time you do a super chat, just know that it's going to a good cause, keeping the ballers safe from these thoughts. That's the only charity I'm really trying to be involved in. Fuck a whale. You know what I'm saying? Whales ain't never tried to help me. You know what I'm saying? But the ballers have tried to help me. That's why we got to save them. All right. You know what I'm saying? Oh, also, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that we got a free Discord that accompanies the podcast called the Victory Unit. In there, I got free courses. I got a free course called the Baller Mindset. Right? It's a free course about getting money. Right? It's better than almost every paid course you're going to buy as it pertains to like how to get money. Right? I got a free course, a fat burning course called Direct Hit. I used to sell it for $200. Right? It made a lot of money off of it. Now it's free if you join the Victory Unit and become a Victinator, right? And we're going to be coming out with some more free shit. It's a free Discord. Link is in the description. The Victory Unit. Join that. I'm in there all the time. I go live in that bitch. And, you know what I'm saying? It's dope. You can learn. We teach y'all how to invest, how to get money. We talk about fitness. It's dope, man. Be around some like-minded motherfuckers, all right? Without further ado, I got to introduce our guest today. Now, this brother, he's a international speaker, right? He's been in stages all over the world, and he's an expert at podcast monetization, right? I had to invent sponsors for this podcast, but he teaches people how to get like real sponsors for their podcast. The homie, Brandon Boyle. What up, bro?
Hey, what's going on, bro? Happy to be here, bro.
All right, man. So tell them exactly what you got to talk right into the mic, man. These joints.
Yeah.
You
Producer get me right.
Yeah,
you know
no, it's all good. So like, yo, you help people make money off their podcast. It's one of the things you do. Yeah. And you want to get like super close, like closer than you think. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right. I gotta hold it like this. Yeah, I got you.
All right. So how do you help people make money off their podcast?
Well, first off, it's mindset, bro. Because most people think that the only way you're gonna make money on podcasts is with a brand deal, a sponsor, or YouTube.
Brother, that's what I thought.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when they're starting shows, the first thing they're thinking is, I need to get like, you know, let's say one of those online trading sponsors,
right? Or like some fucking sports betting.
Yeah.
You know?
Or a beverage or something. You know what I'm saying? So they're only thinking that because when a celebrity does a podcast or an athlete does a podcast, that's what they're gonna get.
Yeah,
but they're gonna get that because they got tremendous motion. They got an audience already. It's easier for them to leverage their celebrity, leverage the fact that they're an athlete, and then go get a sponsorship or a brand deal. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm just, you know what I'm saying, Levi from Ohio, you know what I'm saying, and I live in a small neighborhood, whatever, and I want to launch a podcast, and I got something to say.
Yeah.
I'm not getting that same brand deal that, let's say, Podcast P got. Or Carmelo got, you know what I'm saying, or the 520 podcast, or any of these podcasts. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting that because ain't nobody know who I am, right? But there's a couple different ways, right? I have a 4-step framework that I'm gonna share.
Yeah,
you know
I want to hear this shit.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm also gonna share a couple of other strategies. You know what I'm saying? Because you can actually get a brand deal.
Oh yeah,
but it's just the way you go about getting.
So you can't get you can get different kind of deals.
There's different type of deals, bro.
All right.
So I'll give you. So why don't we start off with that, because I feel like this is really valuable for someone, right?
Yeah. What kind of audience do they need to have? Can they have a small, like how many?
You don't need, bro. Listen, you can start monetizing from episode 1. You know what I'm
Really?
saying? You don't even need an audience if you go about it like this. You'll get an audience. You know what I'm saying? But if you use these strategies I got, you can make money on a small audience.
All right, cool. Let's get into it, man.
All right, so
what's step 1?
So before we get to step 1, let me give you the bonus one first. You know what I'm saying? We
motherfucking bonus.
We're gonna go bonus first, right? So let's talk about the local brand deal.
Local brand.
Yeah, the local brand deal. Anyone can get this.
Okay.
So we're in Miami, right? Where's a place you like to go? Like the owner, you might know the manager. Yeah. You might be really good with the person in the front. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What's one of 2 places? Gym. Okay, Boxer. Yeah. What's another spot?
Mastro's.
Boom, Mastro's. Yeah. How about, is there like a coffee spot you like?
Coffee
or like a cold pressed juice or acai bowl, smoothies or something?
No, fuck with that shit.
You know what I mean?
Let me think. Sagrado.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boom. So these places you already have relationships, right? You know the people behind the scenes.
Yeah, fucks with them.
Exactly, right? So you can go to that place, and most of these places that you just named, I don't recall seeing any commercials or no marketing. Matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? So you can literally go to these places where you already have relationships and say, hey, listen, Mike, or whoever, owner, whatever, because you know my first name. Hey, Mateo. Hey, Mateo. What's up?
Listen, some of that bread.
Exactly. Hey, Mateo, listen. I'm not sure if you know, but I'm launching a podcast. You know what I'm saying? And on this podcast, I'm going to be covering the ABC. The audience that I'm going to be talking about is 1, 2, 3. And I see that you don't really do too much marketing, right? I can shout your Boxer out on each episode. I can give you a logo on screen, which might be the watermark. We could shoot a commercial. We could put it in. We could put it inside of the episodes. We could do a 4-show package, 8-show package, a season package, whatever you want to do. And matter of fact, I'll even interview you in Boxer for a live podcast.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you can go back to all the places that you already have relationships and do business and get a couple of these easy, because you already have the relationship. It's kind of like the relationship that we're developing. Yeah, you're like, yo, Brandon, I got this going on. Can you pull up? Most likely because we got the relationship.
Got you.
You've already been spending money at the gym. You've been spending money at Mastro's. You've been spending money at all these other places. So really, it's a lot of reciprocity that they're going to want to mess with you because you've been investing in them for years or whatever case may be.
And how much would you charge? Like how
much? $500, $1,000, $2,000
per episode.
Per episode, or you can if it's the first time you actually having an offer, you might be like, you know what? How much is it going to cost me to produce a show? What's the editing like? Am I paying for equipment if I'm doing virtual? Okay, cool. I think for the season might really cost me $5,000. Man, if I can get 2 or 3 sponsors, it just give me $5,000. This podcast season is free.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So people want to get the big grandiose sponsors, but they forget about the coffee spot that they go to every single day. They get an espresso shot.
Okay.
And they know the owner. And they wave, you know what I'm saying? They might even have the espresso shot ready for you because you come there at the same time every day. Right? So the local brand deals are the first place you want to go to get some money because they're gonna give it to you.
All right, local deals. I like it.
Now we're gonna talk about the 4-step framework, right?
Okay.
So the first one is digital products. You know what I'm saying? So digital products is definitely probably one of the number one ways you can go get a bag in media, right? So when I talk about podcasting, that's also going to include if you do a show or if you're on YouTube, because it's all applicable.
Yeah. So like, I want to be clear. Are we talking about just like an audio podcast, or are we talking about like a video? You got to be video.
Right now, you need a video. If you ain't got a video,
you can't just do one.
It ain't the same no more. Back in the day, audio podcasts, it was about the audio. Now, it almost like you don't even need the audio, because if people want to come on or if they want to build with you, they're looking at YouTube.
I was talking to my boy, like this was maybe 10 years ago, my boy Lewis House, right? And Lewis, he was like, yeah, man, we about to go on YouTube, man. We gonna make sure that because before all this podcast were just audio. And he was like, yo, we about to go on YouTube. We want to do every episode. Now he went that route, man. He's like fucking the new Oprah and shit.
Because of the video, it creates that trust. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I know Brandon. I feel like you know what I'm saying, I got the energy, like I know the cadences. Oh, I might get that shirt, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I'm connected to you when I can see it, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it's really big to have that component. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's dope. That's dope.
So digital products, right? So this is the thing with the digital products. There's probably some podcasters out here that's like, yo, how do I even do that? You know what I'm saying? That shit seems crazy. It seems like a lot of work. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What if you're an existing podcast, you got a couple of episodes already moving? Why don't you just repurpose an episode?
Repurpose an episode?
Yeah. So this is episode 150, 155. Tell me about episode 154.
Oh shit, I don't even remember.
You know what I'm saying? Well,
that was the other day.
All right, boom. So might have been, let's say there was like,
oh, I had to guess.
Okay.
Told me Mr. Organic. Yeah.
All right, so Mr. Organic came on. So let's say Mr. Organic dropped like 8 to 10 gems. You can go to the audio, pull the transcript, get those 8 to 10 gems, right? You can go to like Fiverr, you know what I'm saying? Or first you might go to like an AI site like Audio Type to pull the transcript. If
Audio Type?
Audio Type.
What's that?
It's like an AI platform where you can upload your media file and it will create a transcript out of the media file.
They charge you like for
that's free. Yeah,
it's free.
Yeah, I mean it's free up to a point.
Yeah, because I used to use rev.com.
Yeah,
but that was before motherfucking AI. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, bet. So you can go Audio Type, right? Once you got that transcript and you identify, let's say those 8 to 10 gems, you know what I'm saying? You can go to Fiverr and you can hire 3 giggers. You want to get someone to make your a graphic for the ebook.
Oh, you mean okay, got it.
Yeah, so you can get a cover. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you wanna get a formatter so they can take your gems from the transcript and format it into a book. Now it don't even gotta be that long. It could be 8 pages, 10 pages. You know what I'm saying? Then you want to get a copywriter so they can read everything and then make sure it reads well. Okay. That might cost you maybe let's say $200. You know what I'm saying? If that, right? Now
could AI do the copywriting?
It could.
Yeah.
It could. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so this is the thing. People are gonna have to go over the information once they get it. But you could use these tools to 100% do it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Now, why that's cooking up, whether you're gonna use AI or hire someone on Fiverr to do it, let's say it takes you 48 hours to 7 days to knock it out. You can get the graphic cover done same day in an hour or less. Take that over to, let's say, Gumroad or Stan Store. You can start pre-selling the cover, right? The book might drop.
What the fuck is Gumroad?
Gumroad is like, you know what Stan Store?
Nah.
All right, so Gumroad, Stan Store. These are sites that will sell your digital products. You know what I'm saying? And they don't charge you. They only take a percentage of each sale. So they're not going to charge you $49, $99 a month to have the account. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You can go there right now, upload a PDF file that looks attractive and start getting money today.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, now, why would you do that as opposed to like putting it on your own site? Maybe you don't have that shit.
Maybe you don't got a site. We want people to move fast. I want people to build a belief that they can do this shit in 15 minutes.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
You get money in 15 minutes.
They already got the
Now look, if you got friends, you know what I'm saying, you go to the gym, you know what I mean? Maybe you're part of a car club, family members. There's probably people right now that are just rock with you just because you're you. Yeah. Right. So if your ebook is $47, we're talking about before you even get on to put it in your episode. And remember, we're repurposing the information that was in the episode already.
So he already dropped some jewels.
He already dropped this, right? You can hit up, you know what I'm saying, your sphere of influence, say, hey, listen, I got this new product. If you sell 22 of them at $47, you just made your first $1,000 as a podcast. Okay. From information that you repurpose. Because most podcasters are not even revisiting episodes that they drop at all. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So the digital product now, how do we make sure that we take the episodes to optimize them? Yeah. Well, you want to make sure you have your links in the description of every single podcast for that digital product. You can do like a live read promoting, you know what I'm saying, your product before you get in the show. Hey, yo,
a live read?
Yeah. So hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Imperfect Action Show. I got Brandon Collab today. Listen, before we get into it, I dropped this fire book about, you know, how to monetize your podcast. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The links in the description, or go to firepodcastbook.com. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You can then shoot a commercial for that product and you can put it in that episode too. Now you have one product that is in every single episode, because now you turn the episodes into assets. So my belief is that content is actually a content asset.
Okay.
Right. So if you look at content like a stock is going to go up and down depending on the market. But content is always going up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you get 5 to 10 views, what's going to happen in 6 months? You might get 20, 1,000. What if you get a little bit more popular? That those episodes are going to start increasing in views.
I knew a guy. This is not advice, and it's probably illegal. But I knew a guy who he was like a kid, and he would go on YouTube and like take YouTube videos, and fucking get them transcribed and edited, and then he would like make ebooks out of them and put them on like Amazon KDP, Amazon Kindle, and that was his business model. He was in high school making some money, you know what I'm saying, making a few grand a month in high school off other people's shit.
I mean, that's
kind of foul.
Yeah, that's definitely a violation.
But I'm just saying, I that's how I know your shit is viable, because this kid was just putting this shit out. You know what I'm saying? How to fuck it, like he could take this episode, how to make your own podcast, and then fucking edit that shit up, and so I seen it happen. But you're talking about these motherfuckers already got some kind of, well, maybe they don't have an audience, right?
You don't even need the audience, because the audience is gonna come. First off, like, you gotta think about, if you're podcasting because you actually want to podcast, you're not really thinking about the money per se. You know what I'm saying? You're thinking about the art of the conversation you're trying to have. I mean, the most valuable thing about podcasts is the relationships that you develop. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to monetize, you want to put that first product in play.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Digital product.
And if y'all are smart, what you can do is you could do that with multiple episodes, and you can even do a rev share or a collab with your guest. So you can run the same play with your guest and say, hey, listen, this is what we're going to do. We actually been doing a collab on it. This is my run with it, with the digital products, but we're going to do an affiliate link 50-50 rev share. We can
have them promote it.
They promote it, they get money. You promote it, you get money.
Okay.
It's from the episode that y'all created.
That's pretty dope.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Yeah,
that's what you want to do. Second thing is, or the second step is having a paid membership community.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, so, you talking about like Patreon or some shit like that.
Yeah. Patreon, school, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Mighty Networks. I don't really like Patreon because Patreon reminds me of like Walmart.
Okay.
When we think about Walmart, you think about discount. Yeah. So I don't want people to think about your community as a discount.
Okay.
I want it to be a premium. You know what I'm saying? So when I have people say, hey, go to my Patreon, I'm like, yeah, it's probably like $20. It might be like $15. You know what I mean? But if you're like, yo, go to my school, go to my Mighty Network, you know, go to my circle community, circle WAP. Yeah, those are probably like, those are premium. Could be $100, $150, $250, $70. You know what I'm saying? They're more premium. My brain's not wired to think, oh, Patreon is probably $7.
Okay.
So I would recommend not use Patreon for this. I mean, you could have a premium product in or community in Patreon, but most likely when you go to Patreon, you seeing lower tier prices.
Okay.
We want your community to be aligned with something premium. You know, so you want to train your buyers to spend.
And what do you give them in that premium shit?
Man, you give them access, bro. So where's a place that maybe you and a lady might want to fly to, like vacation or something next?
She want to go to she right DR. Dominicans just always want to go to DR. Okay. They always want to go to DR. Yeah. Cabo. No, I'm not going to Mexico. Europe. She wants to go to Greece.
Okay, boom. We go to Greece, right? So on this plane, there's economy.
Yeah.
And then there's first class.
Yeah.
So economy is the equivalent of how anyone can basically experience the podcast. Because I can go to YouTube anytime I want.
Yeah.
I can go on Spotify, Apple anytime I want. So that's like economy.
Yeah.
Meaning like everyone can access it. That's where the most tickets are sold.
Right.
Babies is crying. Your food's probably late. You got wait to get on, wait to get off.
You got to walk past me when you get on the plane.
100%. You know what I'm saying?
I call it the poverty parade. It's like I get on first after the veterans and the cripples. And then I sit there and I'm chilling. And then they put on a little show for me, man. Kids are like, ooh, look at these seats. It's dope.
100%. Right. So boom. People want to experience your podcast in first class. So first class, that's like, you know, 1 seat or 2, right? It can recline all the way. You're gonna get a menu, you might get a drink, headphones, pillow, blanket. You know what I'm saying? You chilling, you're in your own little, you know, there's only 16 seats in there.
Yeah.
You know, plus minus. And generally, you might meet somebody that's on your same stature or height.
That's a fact.
Right? So that's access. So if you have a membership community and you just give them more access to the pod, that by itself is enough. So I'll give you an example. What if you let the members say, get a vote as to who they could bring on, or give them the opportunity to have 10 or 15 minutes of conversation exclusively with the community, right? Yeah. What if you were selling merch and the community got a special color that they can only get if you was in the community,
or maybe early access? If we wanted to get with Thot Repellent, if we had like a top tier community, we could give them, listen, y'all get first.
100%. They could pre-sell. They could pre-order it first.
It makes a lot of sense.
Maybe if you're doing affiliates, they could be some of the top affiliates. They can get money with you.
We can get them an affiliate
100%
to promote Thot Repellent.
Right. Maybe if you travel and you got a nice premium community, you're like, hey guys, I'm in New York, pull up.
Oh, just for the primo.
100%. You do live events. Maybe they get a section that if they're not in the community, you're not in this section. They're in the roped off section. Or they get 50% off tickets or something. Yeah. You can use your imagination.
Exclusive
to go
content
crazy.
Too is
all of that too. Yeah. You can be like, Brandon, listen, I want to ask you some questions, not on the pod, because I want it just for my community. Yeah. All that stuff. Okay. That's access. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna feel special. They got a lot of other things going on. And it's like, you can't get this if I just go to Spotify. Yeah. Or if I just go to YouTube. I'm missing out.
And what you recommend charging for shit like that?
So
it depends on the person, I'm assuming.
Nah, man. It kind of depends on the person, but it also depends on like your community. Are you familiar with Social Proof podcast, David Shands?
Nah.
Okay, I like to use him as an example. So I do a workshop. He's one of the case studies I bring up. So he has a community called the Morning Meetup. Okay. It's like $99 a month. And he got about 500 people in there.
What they do in the morning?
Regular stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Get up, read books.
Does he holler at him?
He's in there. He's in there
every morning.
And he got other coaches and stuff.
He's in there every morning.
Yeah. Okay. It's like an hour. He's in there probably like 20, 30 minutes. And he has like the people like one of the coaches kind of like setting people up and stuff. So I mean, it's designed really well. Okay. But $99 a month, about 500 plus people in there. That's $50,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? That's $600,000 a year. Off that one offer. Yeah. Right. Now, what if someone is like, yo, I mean, that don't seem realistic to me. I don't know if I can do it. Cool. I mean, can you get 10 people in there? Right. That might pay you $100 a month or $50 a month. Yeah. That's $500 a month for $1,000 a month. Just off of 10 people.
That'll pay some people's rent.
100%. Right. Yeah. So we're not talking about like 90,000 views, 9,000 downloads. You know what I'm saying? Or 900 views, which everyone is fantasizing over these metrics. We're talking about 9 people.
What I like about your strategy so far, and maybe it's going to change, but what I like so far is that it's not reliant on podcast, not reliant on brand deals or other shit like that. Because when I first got in the game on YouTube, I was like, nah, I'm not trying to get deals. I'm not trying to fucking slang this other shit. I'm not trying to get Gymshark. No hate against them. It's like, I'm not trying to do none of that shit. I'm selling my shit
100%.
Yeah. In fact, I think until someone proves me wrong, I think I had the first black owned supplement company where I started selling supplements. Right. But I was the dude in Queens. So I needed I told people I was sponsored by it.
Yeah. Which is smart.
Cause I wanted it to think it was bigger. Yeah. I wanted to think it was like some white people somewhere, some old white men who put money. I didn't want to think it was some dude. And I had the shit in the crib. Motherfucking my cat was jumping on it and shit. You know what I'm saying? I would like walk the first bottle. I would walk to the fucking store. I'm to the post office with handwritten labels, mailing it to people with their orders. But I say all to say, my first concept was like, nah, I don't even want no deals. I want to build this media in order to promote my shit. And it sounds like that's a lot of your strategy as well. Yeah.
So the first two, 100%, right? Because I want to teach people, like, my whole thing is like, you can't monetize unless you productize. A lot of people don't realize their podcast is actually a product. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you have to like power it. You need to put it into action. You got to productize it.
Yeah.
You know
so we got digital products.
We got digital products,
paid memberships.
We got the paid memberships.
All right.
And now we're going to kind of do a little bit of what you didn't want to do.
Okay. No, it's cool.
Which is that affiliate. Right?
Affiliate. So affiliates, I feel you on that.
You know what I'm saying?
I made some money with affiliate.
So affiliates is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And it's like people just giving away money, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So let's look at Amazon by itself. People go to Amazon all the time. I can send you a link right now for something I'm like, yo, this might be a good book for you, or this might be a good gadget or something. Yeah. You might buy it, right? If I send it to you and you bought it, I miss money. But if I would have just grabbed the same link from Amazon Associates, my affiliate link, and send it to you.
Yeah.
And you didn't even buy that thing. You bought something totally different because you were distracted. I would still get some money.
You get when they click on the Amazon Associates. I know that game really well. It's like when they click on that link, anything they buy for like 24 hours, you get credit for.
You get some bread, yeah.
No, Amazon. So I mean, it used to be. I feel like it was easier to make money back in the day, but it's still money now.
Still money now. If you go on Amazon right now and you're not taking advantage of that, you just lose money.
And anybody can sign up.
Anyone can sign up for it.
Like you get even if you didn't do all this podcast shit, sign up for Amazon affiliates
with an email list.
And if you got some motherfuckers watching your story, oh yeah, this is the shit I got.
Let me just drop it in there.
Yeah, and even if they don't buy that, if they buy something in 24 hours, you're gonna get credit.
100%.
Because I remember I would post because when I first launched my product my supplement line, I didn't want to sell at my crib no more. I used Amazon FBA, was the first fulfillment, and I had to fulfill by Amazon, but I would also use my associate link when I promoted it.
Yeah,
that's the only place you can buy it. And I remember I would get credits for motherfuckers buying MacBooks and shit. I can see like all the credits.
100%.
Yeah.
So people should definitely do that. I just use Amazon because everyone uses Amazon. So it's good for people to kind of understand that, right? But like affiliates, what about Racketon? You familiar with Racketon?
Nah. So
Racketon. So y'all might know Racketon if y'all watch sports. If y'all are familiar with like the Golden State Warriors, it's the brand that's on their jersey. It begins with an R. Racketon. Racketon is like, do you remember? I think it was called like Ebates back in the day.
I remember Ebates. Yeah.
So that's what Racketon is right now.
Racketon.
So I can send you the link on Racketon so you can get an account. It'll give you $30.
Oh, word.
Of real money, and it'll give me $30. Why would you even want a Racketon account? Well, anything that you buy online, they got pretty much relationships with them. And anything you spend, they're gonna give you back 1% up to like 10 to 15% of your money back. Right. So now you got a $30 affiliate for just sharing something that's gonna help you save money because you're gonna be shopping online anyway. Yeah. Right. So with these affiliates, you're gonna start stacking them. What about like service-based providers like ADP, payroll? They're giving you $500 to $1,000 every time a small business signs up for payroll. Word. Chase is giving you $100 up to $1,000 every time somebody gets a new business account.
Oh, really?
Right. So
you recommend them. Yeah. You're
like, you start a new business account, don't you? Most likely I do. You know what? Get a Chase account.
Or you can just go on. Maybe you were about to get to this, but like ClickBank.
Yeah, that was the next thing. Yeah. So like places like ClickBank, JV Zoo, Impact. These are in Amazon, obviously, but these are basically affiliate marketplaces. Yeah, you can go find which products. You can go find the ones you want. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Tesla right now giving away $500 for people to get cars. You know what I'm saying. So a lot of the companies or a lot of the services, softwares, or maybe even products you have at the house might pay you if you just register for free for whatever affiliate product they have. Even Dion, right? So Dion, he did the deal with Blenders, the sunglasses. Okay, yeah. So Blenders giving you, I think it's like 12%. Dion Sanders, okay. Coach Prime. Yeah. They're giving you like 12% of every sale on the sunglasses. Oh shit. You know what I'm saying? So all these companies are gonna give you money. You don't gotta sell nothing. Yeah. Fulfill nothing. No customer service. You can just try and share. Yeah, you know what I mean, and a big play with that is with the TikTok shop. So you can do the same thing pretty much with TikTok shops. Yeah, they got like affiliate shit. They got the whole thing is about making content. You know what I'm saying, posting it with the affiliates. I be seeing people going live and they pumping some product. It's like HBC. It'd be looking like the Home Shopping Network. Yeah, 100%, right. So we got 3 right now, right. So there might be some podcast shows out there that might be guest driven, where like they're only going to do a show if there's a guest on the show. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or there might be some that might be guest driven that never charge the guest to come on. You know what I mean? Either one is fine. I do this thing called the VIP package. So this is where I really teach. And so if we don't do step 1, 2, or 3 yet, we want to do something even faster. You got a guest coming on your show, right? Like tomorrow, next week, whatever. You can run a VIP package strategy. This is strategy number 4. This is strategy number 4. VIP package. The VIP package. So this strategy, I taught this guy. Shout out to my guy Moneybag Rich. He does the Attractive Mindset podcast in Hollywood, Florida. I taught him this strategy last August. He made $4,200 in 30 days, and then he made $35,000 by December. Just off of this one strategy. Nice, right? So with the VIP packages, you're basically packaging up the content into a content folder and then offering it to the guest. So I'll give you an example, right?
I see what you
So guests come on a show, right? What do they want to do? They want to talk about what they got going on, talk about their products, talk about their services, talk about their stories. What do most people suck at? Content.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you give them just the video podcast, they ain't gonna chop it up.
Right.
So let me just serve it to you, bro. How about this? I'm gonna give you a content folder with your full audio file, your full video file, 10 clips already ready to go. Probably give you some segments. I'll give you a chance to give your own product a commercial. Matter of fact, I'll put the commercial in there. I'll do an email blast. I'll do a text message blast. If I'm someone that goes live, what difference does it make if I bring you on live? I was gonna go live anyway. And then you just resell them the content that y'all just collaborated on in a folder, and you could charge them $1,000, $500. You know what I'm saying? $1,500. Now, if you're a starter show, that might give you some anxiety because you're like, I can't even ask for that. Yeah. So just charge somebody $250.
And you'd probably have to have a nice setup for that shit, though. Right?
Yeah. I mean, yes and no, because production value will raise it 100%, right? But you can have great production in a brand new show and with no motion, and you still might have the mindset to not like ask for your value. Yeah. But okay, just ask for $250. You wasn't getting shit before then. Yeah. So if you got 4 guests coming on, right? This offer, your conversion rate is going to be like 50 to 75%. Who don't want their content?
Even if they came on for free.
Even if they came on for free,
they would just want the content.
This is how you turn a free guest into a paid guest. Now you got a 50%, 75% conversion rate. You just left that month with anywhere from $500 to $750, even if you charge $250. Right? Once you get a little bit more confidence, you're like, you know what? I can confidently ask for $500 to $1,000. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now we're talking about anywhere from $2,500 to $4,000 in a month from guests that did not even pay to come on your show. Now, if you have a guest,
I should charge you a VIP package,
bro.
Yo, listen, Brandon, I'm thinking, man, we can package this shit up, man, give you all.
You know what I'm saying?
Fucking with you.
Yeah. Well, yo, 100%. 100%. Now, if you're someone that does have a fee to charge, you can up your fee by just adding this.
Yeah, a little upsell.
Because a lot of them wasn't even adding this.
Yeah.
And guess what? A lot of people, when that episode drops, they don't even watch it, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're not gonna chop up the content. They probably don't have an editor.
Yeah. I go on podcasts all the time. I never watch that shit. I was there.
Exactly.
I know what I said. It was dope. You know what I'm saying? I'll never watch it. Yeah.
So if you're gonna do this, you can give them a folder. Yeah. Your conversion rate is going to be much high because it's literally them. They collaborate on the content. And if they hired, let's say, a videographer to do a content shoot, they would spend that or more.
And if they had to charge an editor.
Exactly. Right. And the content might not even be that rich because they're probably reading a script.
Yeah.
But now you're asking me questions. I could be myself.
Oh my God, that would be so easy. Because we record this shit. So like when Nima's hitting the button, switching cameras and shit, that file is saved.
Boom.
Right. We get the isolated ones from each camera. Let me show them how many cameras. This one, this one, this one, and we got this one. Yeah. See this one, or is like the vertical? You show it to me. We got the vertical one for shorts. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So boom, we can give them the edited up version of that shit. And then we can give it, man, you can also get every fucking angle, man, all the audios, and you get the short shit. Yep. You get the shit for shorts.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then just be like,
that's kind of dope, man.
And then just give them a commercial.
Yeah.
Because they talking about what they got going on anyway.
Yeah. That's kind of dope, man. So how much you want for the package, man? You know what I'm saying? Nima edit some shit for you, man.
Exactly.
I'm gonna need $750. No, I'm fucking with you, man.
Yeah. but this is the thing. I would pay it.
Yeah.
Because it's valuable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Real. And it's already ready to go for the most part.
Yeah.
Right. And I still actually have the long form. So then if I actually do have an editor or I get one in the future, I can hibachi that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I can get some more clips ready to go. A lot of the things with people and even podcasters specifically, it's all about motion. So even if you're not hot, let's say you don't got a lot of followers, a lot of subscribers. If I'm seeing you post and you're consistent and you're moving, it's like, damn, this guest, another fire clip, another clip. You're gonna look active. So you're gonna attract a guest to you that's gonna want to pay you or want to collaborate with you because you got some motion.
Yeah, I remember there was this one kid. He does street interview shit. Yeah, and he stopped me. Hey, blah blah blah.
Was it Braden?
Braden, yeah. Braden just stopped me, and I was like, all right, man. Saying I stopped and I talked. Like, oh, he's a kid, he's doing his thing, and I gave him a little street interview while I was like shopping and shit. And then I started seeing him. He got other motherfuckers, you know. I'm like, oh, this kid's doing his thing, man. And then he was like, hey man, can we shoot a video? And I let him come here and like shoot a day video with me. But you know, like had I not maybe seen him like making moves,
what I'm saying.
I was like, okay, this kid is like serious,
he's active. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, not even. It wasn't like the social proof. It's just the fact that like he was doing something, movement. Man. You know, I was like, I like the fact that he's doing something that's dope for like a kid. You know,
100%. It's just like money. Money got to stay moving.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It got you. So you need to stay active in what you're doing. You know what I mean? If you want to use social media to make money, or if you want to use your podcast to elevate, or whatever case may be, and you're not posting content, you're not being active. You're like, oh, 3 clips is enough on this one. Yeah, it's like, bro, no one's seen it anyway. Yeah, drop 20 clips. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Who cares? Get active. It's a free platform. You know, utilize it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So those 4 strategies just to start will get a podcast monetized. All right, so let me
review them real quick. Right, so digital products.
You got your digital
like some
products.
sort of ebook or some shit like shit of that nature.
Ebook,
a course, even if you
mini course,
if you got
guide. You know what I'm saying? Blueprint. Yeah, there's so many.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to make money with your own digital products. Some sort of paid membership.
Yeah, definitely need a membership community because that's your MRR. It's gonna be easy for you to hit the number you want when you got consistent money coming in. Yeah. So the monthly revenue coming in, dude. Then you hit them with the affiliate marketing. 100%.
You know, Amazon, free JV bread, View. What you said, man? Racketon.
Racketon.
Racketeer.
Yeah.
Racketon, right?
Racketeers is like that's the thing, you know what I'm saying? The holiday joints.
No, that's the Racketeers.
The
Racketeers is what Young Thug got sent to jail for.
Racketeering, yeah.
You talking about the Racketeer.
He just got out.
I heard.
Yeah, I just seen it on social.
My girl said, I told my girl that, she said, nah, he just got 40-something years.
I think that was a meme. Or one of these memes. Y'all let us know in the chat, bro. I heard he got they said he got time served and 15 years probation. That's what I read.
I mean, shout out to Thug.
Yeah,
you know,
album coming.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, he about to drop the hardest album.
Album coming, bro. 100%.
You don't beat Fed cases,
nah, bro.
That's what's up, man. So he can start like a paid membership of how to beat Fed cases.
100%. You want ebook, mini course, the whole joint.
The podcast. And I listen to the Young Thug podcast.
Yeah, 100%.
That should be his next move. Making that, listen, Thug, that's some free game for you, man. All right. But yeah, the affiliate shit, then they can do a VIP package.
The VIP package.
I like that.
The VIP package is really the killer though. Because you already have the content. I had a client last month. She did about close to 100 shows. Yeah. I said, yo, your first product VIP package, go back to every guest that you had on the podcast and just say, hey, we have your content files that you forgot about. Yeah. Only $250. Yeah. She sold 10 of them.
Yo, especially if you're gonna make some like IG reels and clips, YouTube shorts for these motherfuckers. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Because that shit takes effort from their part. But if you could just pay someone to do this shit for you,
100%,
that's lit.
Now the thing about it is like when you're in this vertical, there's just a lot of different ways that you can make money.
I like it. I like
media.
Okay, so cool. So those are ways you make money off the podcast, man. How you get it popping, man? How do I get some motherfucking viewership? Do I need to get viewership? Like,
viewership helps. Okay, viewership is going to amplify everything that you got going on. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So you can obviously do paid, right? Be it paid, so you can spend money on ads. You can run ads to get more exposure.
So what ads to a podcast? So what would that be like? Like just fucking Google ads,
Google ads, IG ads, because you really just want to get more exposure. Yeah, you want to let more people know that you got a podcast. Okay, you know what I'm saying. One of my favorites is guesting, though.
Guesting.
Yeah. So guesting, I got this strategy called a 5-2W. So 5-2W meaning one podcast a week for the year. Oh. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't got 30 to 60 minutes of time to invest in your business and talk about what you got going on, maybe you shouldn't be in business.
So do one podcast a week.
Do one podcast a week. You know, what if you did 2? That's 104, right? But if you go on one podcast a week and a lot of things are going to happen. You're going to get a lot of motion. You're going to have a lot of clips. Yeah. A lot of activity. You're going to be a better speaker.
It's going to look like you're making moves.
It's going to look like you're making moves. It's really going to look like you're making moves. It's like, damn, he's on another one. Yeah. Damn, he's on another one.
Even if it ain't fucking Joe Rogan, it's still going to be
you're still active. You're still outside with it, right? And not only, like I said, you're going to be a better speaker, you'll have more speaking opportunities. I got on these stages because of the podcast. I spoke at Podfest. I spoke in London at the podcast show. Podcast Summit a couple times, you know what I'm saying? I've been at a lot of different summits and masterminds, speaking on stages. I mean, I was already a decent speaker, but being able to have a podcast and actually like hone these skills, it accelerated the opportunities that I can go speak on stages. You know what I'm saying? You're just gonna be better at what you do when you actually talk about what you got going on. Yeah, if you actually do
better at something by doing it.
So that's a good strategy. Another one is giveaways. Giveaways is fire. I'm actually about to do one right now. I'm about to give away. I haven't decided which one I'm gonna do. I'm either gonna give away an Osmo, like the Osmo Creator Kit, or I'm gonna give away the Meta Ray-Bans, which I have them right here.
Oh yeah, man, I lost my pair.
Yeah, these joints,
and I just got another pair.
Yeah, these joints
because I fuck with those.
Yo, these joints right here are probably the most. This is probably the best piece of tech in 2024, bro.
That's that shit.
And it got the internet in it. Yeah, you could be like, hey Meta, what am I looking at?
Yeah, it's gonna, real nigga. That's what it's gonna say.
Let me see what it says.
A real ass nigga.
Hey Meta. What am I looking at? Let's see if it say Kankitos. She can't recognize.
She's not gonna see. I tried that before. Like they don't recognize humans. You know
so these joints, bro, you can talk through them. You know what I'm saying? I do my audiobooks, my YouTube videos in them. Honestly, yo, my whole wave in the gym is these in a red cup. That's my club. You know what I'm saying? I have these on. You know what I'm saying? With my red cup inside, I got my BCAAs on my water. Yeah. And that's how I work out with these joints. I'm in my own little world.
I was wearing those and I went live. You can go live from Facebook with those because it's Meta, right? You know what I'm saying? And I was at the range. That shit look like Call of Duty. That shit look like Call of Duty.
The illest thing about these is that they're under $400, bro. And they do updates.
Yeah.
So when I first got them, it was like 30-second video. Now the video is like 3 minutes on them.
No,
I'm saying then I have the facial recognition. Now they got facial recognition.
One of my boys, man, Coach Kyle, he teaches like pickup shit. So he be like hollering at girls with the video on. And but like my favorite use case is like when I'm with my son. Is then I can just get like he do something cool or he do something funny. I can just take a fucking picture real quick, or I can get a video real quick. It's dope.
So these ones is ill. So like doing a giveaway with something like these, something valuable. You know what I mean? Like again, these are under $400. The Osmo's about $600. But if you create a giveaway, something valuable to the audience, you can basically say, hey, I'm gonna give you this. All I need you to do is subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying, or share the pod.
How you know they? Oh, so you just go to one of your subscribers and then you know that should be working.
But what you do is you have them opt in to a forum. So now you're capturing data, and you shoot an automation that's gonna point them to subscribe. So now you got name, number, email, and you're like, yo, subscribe. This is your only thing that you need to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, share the podcast.
Okay.
Like that.
And so giveaways.
So I'm about to run that strategy actually next. I just wanted to. I was trying to figure out, do I want to give away the Ray-Bans or the Osmo?
The Ray-Bans, man. Yeah, not everybody want an Osmo.
Yeah, right. The thing about these is, they're still sunglasses.
Yeah,
they got so much, so many different ways you could use them.
Bro, I bought some Gucci sunglasses. They don't even do all the shit.
Nah,
and they more expensive.
Super.
I was like, no, those the joints.
Nah, these joints is crazy. Bro.
All right, so you got ads, guesting. One podcast a week. How do you get on other people's podcasts? Let's go back to the guessing. Like, like, is that maybe how the fuck do I get on these podcasts?
So there's different ways you can go about it, bro. If you're kind of strapped on a budget, what I would say is I would just look for free pods. You know what I'm saying?
Pods, yeah.
And if you just train your algorithm, you know what I'm saying? Podcast clip is coming down every 3 or 4 videos you see on the
train
feed.
Your algorithm.
Yeah. So basically, you're gonna train your algorithm by searching for, let's say you put it in podcasts, you know what I'm saying, on Instagram. Yeah. And you just start engaging with those posts. You're gonna see more of that.
Yeah. That's gonna be on your
that's gonna be on your
store page, all this.
So I would start saving the different podcast clips that you got coming on, and then just start doing research. Like what accounts hosting it? Is it coming from that podcast account? Is it coming from a host? You know what I'm saying? Who's the guest? You can start making a list.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Then you just start reaching out to them.
Start hitting them up.
Virtual podcasts typically are free for the most part. But there's a lot of in-persons. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. People have to like stop thinking you have to just go for the big shows. You don't have to always go for the big show. Because if you know how to have a conversation, you know how to be like, yo, Brandon, why you take so long to have me on a podcast, bro? Create this friction. You create these moments. You create these moments, and those moments can be shareable later. You just have to know how to drive. I mean, if you look at Fresh and Fit, right? Myron's always talking reckless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he knows like this tonality, the way I'm approaching a certain subject matter, these could be, you know, pretty action-packed.
I'd like to believe that. Yeah. I think that's from the heart. He means that shit. Yeah. Because I talked to him off camera.
So it's a little bit of both.
Before he was famous. Yeah. He was just he's passionate. That shit he's passionate before the podcast started.
So it's a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? But that's definitely what you want to do. Now, if you have a little bit of a budget, if you're already kind of moving, like there's a lot of people that are successful that just don't have a personal brand. Yeah. Then you could start spending some bread. You gotta look at it. The president, well, neither one of them president, but Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, how they promote their candidacy this year. They went on a podcast run, both of them.
They both did.
Think about what they did.
Yeah.
They all went on different podcasts. Like they did have their rallies, but they hit more podcasts than they did rallies. You know, and where do people watch the clips? Podcasts. Joe Rogan, I think Trump did over 30 million just on the Joe Rogan.
Yeah, it's like he's like broke some records, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So if you have two candidates running for the highest office in the country and they're going on podcasts, why don't you think that would be a good idea for your business? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you may not get on like a Club Shay Shay or a Rogan
or Victory Talk.
You know what I'm saying? You probably not. You know what I'm saying? Probably not.
You might not get on Joe Rogan, Club Shay Shay, or Victory Talk, but you can find somebody.
You can find somebody, especially in your local city, state, you know what I mean, or virtual. Yeah. And you can start going on those shows.
All right, and you got to pay some of these motherfuckers, right?
You might have to pay some of them. You know what I'm saying?
It depends, right?
Yeah, it kind of depends because again, like not all podcasters may know their value per se, which is a benefit to you. You're like, hey, listen, this is my budget. Damn, I can hit 3-4 of them. You only this price. You know what I'm saying? So I think you could stretch that budget once you identify the budget, but you're only able to monetize on a podcast if you have an offer. If you don't have a proven product or service, you shouldn't even be going on podcast.
Yeah. So okay.
And a lot of people just want to go on because it's the it thing to do. Yeah. But if you don't have no way to monetize it, you need to stay.
You can't just be doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Not just for recreation.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No, I feel that. That. All right. So that's how they get the views. And then, but let me ask you, man, is it? Do you think it's? If someone wants to start a podcast, oh, my fault. Is there other way to get the views where we got ads, guesting, giveaways? Is you got any other strategies?
Yeah, I honestly think this is probably more on the coaches and consulting route though. But I like speaking at events. Okay, you can always pull because when you're on that stage, you can tell them to do whatever, they're gonna do it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But also like communities. So a lot of coaches and consultants, you know what I'm saying, entrepreneurs, they have these online communities, kind of similar to what we talked about earlier, like building the community. And they normally have like, 50, 100, couple hundred people, maybe even 1,000 people in there. You could speak in those communities pretty much for free because they need people to come in and give game. Right. So I was just in the community on Tuesday, and it's a community that they're focused on like buying real estate. Yeah. But they always bring guests in that bring other value. So they brought me in, and I was able to get some followers on the Instagram, subs to the channel. I sold products and services, and people joined my text message community. So I got a lot from just being there for 40 minutes. So again, we talked about doing that 5-2W strategy, speaking on the pod for like 30-60 minutes a week. Well, if you add a community in there, so now you got two concentrated places to go where people are gonna be. Yeah. So you can go in there and get the subs up.
That's what's up.
And sell a thing or two. The community they buying because it's a warm audience. Yeah. Right. So you got a Discord, right? So if you was like, yo, we're gonna do a live class on Zoom, pull up. I got Brandon coming through. Yeah. We're gonna be talking about ABC. That's a warm audience. Yeah, it's not cold.
And there's like 17,000 people in the Discord.
Exactly. And you directed them to that thing, right? So it might be, let's say 5,000 pulled up. That's a summit, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
For real.
And I'm at the crib chilling in front of my, my laptop, and I'm doing my thing. What if 1% bought something? I'm still chilling.
That makes sense,
right? What if 1% bought something for $97? I'm straight, right? I'm cool at that point. So we're talking about what we say 5,000 show up, 1%. What's that? Like 50, 500, something like that.
Yeah, no, that's good.
You know what I'm saying?
So are speaking communities any other strategies, or do you feel like that's
so I got this fire strategy, and I think that it could work for starter podcasters. It's probably something better for a podcast that already has some motion because they kind of know how things move.
Yeah.
But if you're a podcaster, I got this 10K strategy.
10K strategy.
10K strategy. You could do it like on one podcast.
Okay, tell me.
You know what I'm saying? So what you want to do is you want to promote to service-based providers. So we're talking about realtors, people in solar, financial services, you know what I'm saying? Maybe tax professional, anyone that's providing some type of service and they're getting some money, like, you know, independent contractor type people, right?
Yeah.
What do they need? Leads. What do they most likely don't have? Marketing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what you do is say, hey, listen, I want you to come on my podcast. It's going to be 5K or it's going to be 10K. But what we're going to do is we're going to shoot the podcast live in front of an audience. So you're going to get a live podcast and we're going to film the event.
Oh, okay.
So now they get the opportunity to be on a podcast live and they can do a 20-30 minute presentation on the thing that they do. They're going to leave with all the data and they're going to probably leave with some sales. Yeah. You're going to take probably 10 to 20% of that revenue of that 5 of that 10K. Or if you do it on a couple of different people, maybe you're charging 2,500, but take 10 to 20% of that revenue and then run that on some ads in your local area to pack the audience. Yeah. Now you created a live event for these individuals. You're doing a podcast live and they get all of the data. You film the entire thing. Yeah. And you have the podcast recorded and you can give them the files. Right. And you can do that one time. Right. Yeah. So if it's someone that's already moving, you can charge them that 5 or 10K. But if it's somebody just starting out, and but they're getting leads. You pack the venue with use ads. That's dope. Use ads to pack the venue. You pack the venue with ads. 100%. Or if you have if you got a decent, list, you can probably do it with your list. But eventually, if you do this a few times, you're gonna have a list. Yeah. So now you can just say, hey, we're doing another one, or you can collaborate with somebody that has a list and just give them a percentage of people. Percentage of the revenue because he's packing them with you. These promoters in these local these cities, you could probably collaborate with them. Yeah, you could probably collaborate with them. They got a list. Say, hey, we're doing a real estate event. Realtors go to the club. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody ain't gonna be a realtor, but they probably go to the club. This is an event for realtors, right? And just pack it up. Now you're going to list. They're going to list. They get that VIP package, right? From the pod, and they get the VIP package essentially from the event, and they get a chance to talk about what they do in front of people and close some deals. That's dope, man. Yeah, that's dope strategy. So to recap, to get your views up, you can run it. You can just straight run ads. You got some bread, right? You guesting one pod a week, right? And one pod a week. And if you want to do the free ones, then you got to train your algorithm to find these pods. You can do them virtual or in person. 100%. And if you in a big city, there's gonna be some pods in your city. Yeah, 100%. Miami alone got over 50. Bro, if you in way more than I can name. Yeah, there's so many. All right. Or you can pay. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, pay to pay. Listen. People got to understand you need to invest in yourself. Yeah. So I'm spending the bread. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can not spend the bread and get to where you want to go. It's going to take you longer. Or you can collapse time, spend the money, and get there way faster. That's like anything, man. You money speeds things up, man. 100%. All right, cool. Doing speaking events. Yeah. And speaking either stages and or communities. 100%. Right. Yeah. And then your 10K strategy. Yeah, the 10K strategy. Yeah, where you got to put on an event. Yeah, you got to so basically you got to use that revenue to reinvest and put the event on. Yeah, but the event is doable as long as you run ads. To pack it up. And we're talking about you might only need 50 to 100 people. Yeah, that's still a packed room for like someone that might speak on solar, or they may speak on how to buy your first home. Or why you need to prepare your taxes in the summertime and not wait till. And they'll be excited to speak at that kind of 100%. They're gonna be lit, and guess what? That's gonna bring you referrals. That's dope. Yeah. All right, listen, we're gonna get back into what with Brendan in a minute, but we gotta take a little detour and talk about getting money in this market with the big homie, young Candlestick. Let's. Oh, somebody's in the Halloween spirit. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if this is racist or not. I'm an 8 for Halloween. What's good?
I wore this costume my first year in college, and I actually walked around campus
Yeah,
I knocked on my friends' dorms, and when they opened up the door, I just like tackled them and like
Yeah,
wrestled
you
with them.
did.
They're like, "Who the
Yeah,
hell
man.
is
I'm
that?"
surprised you ain't get. I'm surprised you didn't get shot.
Yeah, I probably could have, but
I'd have shot you for sure. But it was different when I was in college. We talking about early 2000s. It was like G Unit, Dipset. Anyway, man, what's up? What's up with the markets, man?
Yeah, so basically, it was a spooky day in the markets today. We got the fear and greed index up, and right now, this is a measure of sentiment. So this is on fear right now. So basically,
it's on that fear.
Yeah, basically,
we was live trading with the Victory Trades group. You know what I'm saying? This morning we saw the market just kept dropping.
Oh yeah, we caught like a really good short setup in the morning off this like little bear flag, and it was a quick one. We got a nice good impulse wave down. We don't want to chase and just like short that or sell in the hole, but eventually once it started to consolidate, I took a small starter position as we started to break down. Then I added to it, and then I walked my stop down the entire way, took profits down there.
Come on, man. Let's go. It was a big money morning. We do it again tomorrow. If you were part of the Victory Trades, then you know what's up. If not, join the Legions. You can learn about it. It's free Discord, you know.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like Brandon was there in the live session. I was there in the live session. We're calling out live trades. It was a good time. But what's more important is like what's potentially next. And obviously there are no guarantees in the market, but this is what's called a breakaway gap. So the SPY was trading in this range for a long period of time, pretty much all of October.
Looked like a high base.
Yeah, you know, it could be. It's not exactly like a perfect high base, but it could have broken up. But eventually the pressure went to the downside because we gapped down, and this is a gap and go to the downside. So gap and go to the downside, breakaway gap. Usually, even if we get a short-term bounce, we might see more downside over the next coming weeks. This is what's called election volatility. And you can actually like literally measure volatility through the VIX index. This is a measure of fear and volatility. And this is starting to break out. And that's just, you know, political uncertainties. Maybe there's going to be social unrest after the election. Yeah. Half the country
dropped 2%. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's up 13% today. So that's really, really important to note. Another reason the market is dropping a little bit more is Apple earnings. They had poor guidance. So that's starting to break down. It's starting to break those trend lines. So
did they meet? Or did they beat?
You know, I'd have to take a look at the numbers, but
I'll tell you right now.
They may not have. Yeah, they beat 1.49 EPS estimated 1.
But it was the guidance.
Yep. Yeah. What are we forecasting in the future? Maybe it's future iPhone sales. But you know, Apple's fair value is down at about $195 a share. So it just naturally tends to gravitate there.
You know anybody with a Apple Vision?
No, I don't.
I don't know one human being with that shit. And like, I got rich friends. I don't know one human being with that shit.
We had a tutorial when I bought my iPhone, and it was really cool. It just fries your eyeballs, though. Like it's just like,
listen, there's a lot of good lessons there, man. If you coming out with a product, man, maybe you don't want to fuck up nobody's corneas or retinas. I'm not saying they did that. Don't sue me. I'm just saying what I would do if I was coming out with a product. I'm not saying that the Vision Quest. I'm sure it's a great product. Tim Cook, I fuck with you, man.
Yeah,
you know
I do too. I do too.
I fuck with Tim. Pause. If you know, Paul, I ain't mean it like that neither. That was not me trying to holler at Tim. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to get it, Tim.
I really like that.
You seem like a cool guy. I got a girlfriend. I'm not into that shit, you know. Anyway,
it just.
But you know how Tim get down.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He would be down if you called him. He would be down. He'd show up right. He'd like fly in on like a private jet straight onto your balcony. It's like, I'm ready to go, Brandon.
He probably dressed like a village person right now, following. You know,
you could get him on the podcast. You know,
Tim like being gay, man, and it's cool. It's cool, man. Gay people, the gay guys design the best shit.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, they're very artistic.
Yeah, man. They arty and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You think I would have had these books color coded if it wasn't for my girl? Is women and gay guys do shit like this. My girl, she did this shit, right? So a gay guy is like a girl with balls. Pause.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Cameron. I mean, let's go. Let's keep going. Let's get out of hand.
Right now, Tesla having a nice, good breakout, but now it's pulling back in. Tesla, if it has maybe a few more down days, I do think it is a buy. Tesla is likely to skyrocket if Trump wins the election, because Elon's for Trump. That's more speculation, of course.
That's speculation.
There is a setup, and you could wheel double levered long TSLL. You could go Tesla, TSLQ for income, but that's just something to look out for. Right now,
if Trump wins, Tesla's probably gonna go crazy, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So just be ready for that announcement. Have your fingers ready to buy.
Yeah.
Just potentially, if there's a setup, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the betting odds are right now, but I think it's like 56% in Trump's favor, and it's like 44% in Kamala's favor.
He's been campaigning for 8 fucking years. You know what I'm saying? Like I just learned this chick's name.
Yeah, exactly. You've been talking about how he's one of like
difficult to compete with that.
You've been talking about how he's one of the best marketers. The question is, who would win in a fist fight, Kamala or Trump?
Oh yeah, Trump is old. Trump is mad old.
But he's also a man, so it's difficult.
He's also a man, but he's an old man though. You know what I'm saying? Like he's an old man. She's an old lady though, but she's more fit.
Yeah, that's true. So I don't know. Let's put that in the comments below.
I can't see. Trump took a bullet though.
That's true.
The other day and was golfing the next day. So
he did like a burpee, like he was.
Yeah, man.
That was nuts. I can't.
I think it'd be a good fight, personally.
Yeah, I would pay to watch it.
I'd like to see it. Yeah,
I would pay to watch it.
Old Trump against. I'd watch that pay-per-view.
Another thing that would go up if Trump potentially wins could be Bitcoin. However, we do have an evening star reversal pattern, so we could see a little bit more downside. I'm interested in potentially wheeling Hive, but I really want to wait for it to have a few more down days.
Hive is the Bitcoin miners, right?
Hive is the Bitcoin miners in like Sweden, Canada, the cold places, Norway. So 3 strike cash secured puts, I'd like to get paid to buy Hive, but I need to really wait for a much better deal for now. So obviously, if Kamala wins the election, the solar sector could outperform. So that's something to keep an eye on. You got
because liberals be fucking with Earth and shit.
Exactly. It's just different alternative, energy sources. I don't know what might happen to uranium. Uranium's kind of near a buy spot, but we're kind of like in the middle of a sell-off where nothing's a good deal, but nothing's
because you need that uranium for that AI.
Exactly. Nuclear power. It's just something to consider. Lastly, I want to talk about XLC. So XLC is a sector that I said could outperform, that did make new all-time highs. And that
right after you said it, man. Talk that shit. Right after you said it, hit all-time highs.
I do a lot of sector analysis. And what lives in the XLC ETF? Well, you got Verizon. I said Verizon, this is the accumulation zone, because that you get that dividend and you can wheel it. It's just your risk-adjusted return is a lot better on a stock like that. Is it still in that zone? I would say it's still an okay deal. It's not as good of a deal, but it's just okay. It's okay. You're probably not going to lose a shit ton of money if you buy.
Verizon got a crazy dividend, right?
Yeah. It should be around 5 to 6%. So that's not bad. That means if it drops even 5 to 6% after a whole year, you'll just break even. But if it goes up, you get that dividend and you'll get the appreciation.
And the appreciation on these hoes.
Exactly. So the fair value on Verizon stock is $52 a share. So it still has 23% upside over the next few years. So that's something to consider. I did talk about Google. I did take profits on my short dated Google call option.
Oh, yeah.
We tapped supply and we hit the outside edge of the expected move. Look what happens. It rains back in. If Google sells for like 1 or 2 more down days, I think it's a buy again. So wait for a couple days on Google for the potential buy. And I'm not a huge Mickey Mouse Disney fan. I just sound like Mickey Mouse. But, when it comes to Disney stock, we do have a flat top breakout over 97.40. And we have earnings, though. Earnings are coming up on 11.
That can be good or bad. Yeah.
The fair value of Disney, though, is $115 a share.
When is earnings?
Earnings are on November 14th. So
like, yo, I mean, let me tell you, I know people say don't trade over earnings, right? But if it's a stock that you feel good about, why not just sell puts over earnings? That way, if it goes down, boom, then you just buy it at your fucking, you just get it, you just get assigned for cheaper than it is now, or it goes up, boom, you just keep the premium. Like, why not sell puts over earnings all the time? What am I missing?
The only thing that you might be missing is what's the pricing of those puts. So are the puts paying enough? And are you seriously down to be assigned? Because there can be some like crazy shit where like a stock can just get shattered. Like Uber's not a great example, but Uber down 12%. If you sold puts before that, you'd be down instantly right away. But that's okay. If you're owning the shares.
It depends on how deep the fucking puts were, right?
Exactly. It depends on the strike price, how long you're willing to hold it, the price of the puts, also your total portfolio delta. So if you have a lot of other long positions, maybe selling puts could maybe overexpose your portfolio. So that's something to consider. So there's a lot of factors.
I don't know, man. You haven't convinced me to not sell puts over earnings every time now.
I sold TSLL cash secured puts and they paid out well. I could have paid more if I just bought the stock. So that's another potential.
There's that
risk.
Too, right? There's that
opportunity cost. You could always do what I like to call a pin, where you sell cash secured puts, buy baskets of 100 shares, and sell covered calls. That way, if it does something where it just goes sideways, you get cash flow on the bottom side and the top side, and you own the equity. A little bit more advanced, nerdy stuff, but
that's why you got to join the Discord so y'all can learn this shit, man.
Yeah, like even
Stop
today.
Fucking around.
Meta, I did an iron condor on Meta and it played out really well. I actually still have the position open. I sold the 525 strike put, bought the 520 strike put, sold the 680 call, bought the 685 call. I risked $400. So here's what it looks like. Minus 400 if it went above 680, but everything in between, I get plus $100. And so Meta stays within that range. And it's going to stay within that range by tomorrow. Easy money. I mean,
easy money. Come on, man. If y'all don't know about this shit, man, y'all need to motherfucking join the Discord for free, man. We out here getting money, man.
Hit it up. But yeah, do you have any stocks you want me to break down? I don't want to spend.
You got a super chat, Greg.
Oh, okay, let's check it out. What's up?
Okay, let me read that. Okay, Players Lounge. Greg, I do good when I backtest, but I always lose when I actually trade. Raid or trade?
I think he meant to say trade, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
Why is this? Any advice?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So it's really important to understand that most of the time, backtesting results tend to give better results than real-time results. And the reason for that is it depends on how long you're backtesting over. And that's just testing a strategy, looking at the inputs and the outputs. Real market environments are constantly evolving. So that's why backtesting can give you an idea of what can happen, but it's not always going to be perfect. The second thing is that
it's also your feels, right? And your feels are going to be different. You keep answering that question. I got to urinate, but you keep answering that question. Stretch it out till I get back. Pause.
Okay. So another reason why when you backtest, you may not get the best results when you forward test or actually live trade it is potentially emotions. Sometimes your emotions can get into the way. I know sometimes I could trade like a simulator perfectly because you could just trade the chart. But when there's real money on the line, your emotions can start to take over. You might take profits a little bit too soon. You might move your stop loss up or move your stop loss back. You might undersize or oversize. So that's what we call discretionary trading. What you want to try to do is, if you can, make your trading as non-discretionary as possible. Make it as robotic as possible. If this, then that. If this happens, then I'm going to buy. Or you can maybe like make a trading algorithm. I've never done that myself. I'm what's called a discretionary trader. I look at the chart, I look at the overall market context, and then I make a decision. But real trading is constantly different because there's always something else that's happening. You can't really, when you're backtesting, you want to account for the most important variables. Are you accounting for the most important variables at that point in time? That's all I got to say.
Yeah. It's also emotions, right? Like when you're backtesting, you don't give a fuck. You might be doing other shit. You know what I'm saying? But when you got money on the line, it's like it's different emotions. So that's like one of the main reasons some people are. It's like I know some people who like do good when they work with prop accounts using someone else's money. When they use their own money, they start fucking shit up. You know, it is just the only thing that changes is the emotions. Exactly.
Yeah. And it's just mastering your mind and unlocking your mind and just getting those reps in. It takes a lot more work than you might think.
I got a stock I want to ask you about.
Bring it up.
Microsoft.
Oh yeah, Microsoft. So Microsoft, we talked about how it could go up, could go down. Microsoft kind of breaking from this range. This might be headed to something like 390. We do have an increase in bear volume. This is a tricky one because the fair value is decently up there. You know, it's in the 500, 510s. It just may take a lot longer for it to potentially get there. All I got to say is I've got to put a rating of neutral to slightly bearish on this. If Microsoft even recovers, it's got this whole gap window as resistance. So that's the tricky part where all of that space, 415 all the way up to 432 is going to be resistance. Likely going to reject at least the first go around, but maybe if it can stay in there, then it could potentially break out.
You know, there's been a stock that I've been calling out, I don't know, for months now.
Axon.
You know what I'm saying? I want to go with Garmin.
GRMN?
Yeah.
Garmin. All right. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Tell him when I called it out. Tell him when I called it out, Greg.
I think you just called it out in this beautiful consolidation. So 158, boom, here we go.
How much we up? How much is up? Had you listened to the king?
25.46%. 25%. This reminds me of another stock that I talked about in the Victory Talk podcast, ETR, down here at about 105. This is a safe ass dividend stock, up 46%. So I'm out of the trade. I didn't participate in earnings, but it's just cool to see. You know,
Garmin, man.
Yeah,
shit.
Congratulations on that. That's
awesome.
You
thinking it's a buy on a pullback?
Yeah. So what I see right here is a move up and then a pullback. This is good because now we start to build a setup. Because
look at the volume on that move up too.
Oh yeah, definitely huge breakaway, huge breakout. You got a little downtrend break. It took out all of these sellers, so they're trapped. So I would say as long as it holds the midpoint of this big ass Marubozu candle, then it can potentially start to consolidate and then break up. So let it go sideways for a bit, and then you can always buy over the highs, and then you can do like a trail stop loss.
That's looking like a buy though. That's looking like a buy. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, as long as it holds the midpoint of the range. It's not a buy if it just sells straight down, because then it's just telling us this was a top and this was what's called capitulation, where everybody that's bought has already bought. There's no buyers left, and the stock supply takes over. So that's the other way to look at it. But as long as it holds the midpoint of this range, you know, let's say 194 and just closes daily above that, it's good to go.
All right, cool, man. Hey, yo, man, you got any stocks you want to ask the homie about?
Hey, Brandon.
Yeah, expert.
Nice to meet you.
What up, bro? Where's the top at? You threw me off with that a little bit. I ain't gonna.
He usually don't wear that.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
He's festive. You know what I'm saying?
You keep it on, man.
Yeah.
No.
Not really.
All right.
I need to get into them though. I hear y'all going crazy.
Oh,
so
man.
I was checking out your content, Brandon. I was really impressed. I think you got some good game on your YouTube channel.
Listen, man, you know,
I was learning.
One YouTube a day, bro. You know what I'm saying? One YouTube video a day. That's what we're doing.
I like that strategy. I like that strategy.
And it's easy to do it with that with the Osmo. You know what I'm saying?
All right, cool, man. All right, listen, Greg, thank you so much. Listen, if y'all want to learn more about this stock market shit, go ahead and join the Victory Unit Discord. All right. And Greg is in there. You know what I'm saying? If you want to start trading with us live every day, man, ask Greg about
well, what time y'all do that?
Greg gets on at like 9:15. And I get on a little bit after that.
I might join that joint.
Oh yeah,
so
man.
I can learn.
We trade live. You know what I'm saying? That's in our Victory Trades group. New shit we started. We launched it the other day, and people love it, man. So go into the Victory unit, talk to Greg.
So is Greg gonna be in like some like a Christmas situation or like?
Oh man, he's probably gonna be dressed like an elf or like Rudolph, Mr. Claus. Yeah, I don't know what he's gonna do, man. He like
Sub-Zero. I actually got last year was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Clean every year.
Makes sense.
That's a really good costume.
I'm Mr. Clean every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
You ever grow a beard out?
Nah.
How would it grow?
Huh?
How would it grow?
Is
it patchy or is it like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I could grow a beard like everyone else.
I don't want to see that again.
Nah, man.
That's part of his brand.
I'm old.
Yeah.
And you look younger if you fucking keep your
it's true.
Your face.
It's true.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So this is me trying to appeal to the youth.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, man, Greg, thank you, man. Appreciate it, brother. All right. Back to this party. Back to this pod talk. Yo, his lights look good too, right? Yeah. Nima, you helped him with that?
Yeah, we've been setting up his
audio sounded good. He sound like he's in a cave no more.
Yeah, make a difference, bro.
Yeah, no, the light he got
audio make a difference.
Audio thing. Yeah. Let's talk about that, man. What if somebody want to start a podcast? What equipment do they need?
Yeah, that's a good question, bro. So first off, I think you need to identify how serious you are about it. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't that serious, don't spend the bread. Yeah. I would just use StreamYard or Riverside.
Okay,
you know so you just need a laptop or an iPad.
Right. Oh, so you talking about just using your camera mic? Yeah, I mean your mic from your laptop.
Yeah. If you like this sounds like something I want to do, but you know that you don't be committing to shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You normally like just start things and stop them.
Yeah.
I would use the software.
Okay.
Because that way you might only Riverside has a free account.
Yeah.
And I think StreamYard also has a free account up to a point.
And that's how you can stream it onto.
Yeah. So
why use that instead of just using the YouTube, going straight to YouTube?
Because those platforms are better built for podcasting, especially Riverside.
Okay.
Riverside is going to bounce down the content before they actually finalize it. You know what I'm saying? Make sure the audio is good and video's kind of synced up.
Okay.
So I would do that first, right? And then you actually have something you can send somebody they can log into. You can have more control.
So you're saying just with use the microphone from your laptop and the camera from your laptop.
If you are not confident that you're gonna be around for a little bit, I would start
just testing it out.
You know what I'm saying? And it's easy to take around with you. Now, if you like that setup and you want to spend a little extra money, then you can get a USB light, a USB mic, you know, USB camera.
Like you send a USB mic, like the Yeti,
like the blue mic. Yeah. Like,
let me show you something, man.
You got one of those?
No. Yeah. But I gotta. I'll be right back. Keep it on Brandon. Hold up. Do I have it in here?
Yeah. So like that setup, that's a really easy setup to get started. You know what I'm saying? And then you add a couple USB accessories, you can enhance it.
So niggas be taking the fucking blue. The blue Yeti.
Yeah.
I know where it is. It's in my other office. But they take the blue Yeti. Everybody talks in the wrong. They think it's like this because this is what they see on podcasts. But you got to talk into the Yeti. That's what everybody doing wrong. Anyway, no, that's not important.
So I would start there. Now, if you want to get a little bit more spicy, you want to spend a little bit of bread.
Yeah,
I would buy equipment. You know what I'm saying?
What equipment would you buy?
Yeah. So I'll probably buy some used cameras. You know what I'm saying?
What kind of camera? We
so like when I first started 2018, I bought some Canons. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I bought it was a M50s, and they had the lenses that you can take off and on. What's good about that is you can keep the same body, you know what I'm saying, and just get a better looks by just buying better lenses. Yeah. I wouldn't go cheap on a trapod. I would not buy no plastic tripods. Get it because it'll stay around with you forever, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I've had some cheap product.
You're gonna want to use it in the joint. They'll stay locked. It collapses. You don't want that. So I would spend a little bit of paper on the tripods because you're gonna have them for a little bit. I would buy a light kit. Newer have a bunch of different like 2 lights and 3 light kits that come in a bag. You can take them with you. Okay, I would definitely do that.
So they shouldn't get the fucking we got Nima. the Aperture 300. That's like
all
that
this shit y'all got. This is some advanced stuff.
Okay.
Like if again, like we're talking about people starting.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Now when you get a little bit of money, like your strategy we talked about, you can invest and enhance your setup.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You know it. I would. This is for me being on YouTube for a long time, and if it were me, if I was advising someone, I would spend more money on the light than the camera.
Yeah,
because people be like, "Yo, what camera you use?" Nah, it's man, really it's the light, homie.
Yeah. It's the light and the audio.
The light,
the light and the audio.
It's like, yo, we could do this shit on fucking.
You can use your phone,
real shit.
Yeah, for real. You can use your phone, but if you got good light, and the audio's crispy, they ain't gonna know.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. I would say, they need to get mics, so you can use a Bluetooth mic, or you can get a plug-in. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You said the USB, like the blue shits, right?
Yeah. So you can do that, or I use Holly Mark, so the Holly kind of like this DJI joint.
Mm-hmm.
You get a Bluetooth setup where it is self-charging. You can take it with you.
Okay.
You just charge the case, and the case charges.
I got
the mic,
you. Yeah,
you know
DJI makes one like that too.
Yeah,
right?
so DJI has that. Holly Mark has one of those. Rode has a setup. I would just get one of those. That's all you need. And now you got a mobile setup. So when I started, that's what I had. So I was interviewing people on the go, different countries, different cities. I had a whole mobile setup.
Yeah. So you set up your cameras. You had your
set up
mobile
the cameras.
light.
Yeah. So I had I would either do if it was a 2-camera setup, I would do a main shot and then a shot on the guests. Yeah. But when I realized the guest wasn't really appreciating the content, I just put on myself. So I had my main shot and then my one-on-one shot and my solo shot and then the main shot. That's it. But that's all. That's literally all you need. And you can now you got a like a mobile show you can take with you. Yeah. I think a great another strategy is like if you're in a city that does a lot of summits. Like summits, workshops, you know what I'm saying, conferences, they never have media. So you can hit them up and say, hey, listen, I'll pull up with my mobile setup. You know what I'm saying? And I'll interview all your speakers, the hosts, I'll get you some testimonials, I'll even get a little wrap up on the event. Yeah, I'm gonna charge you $3,500. Yeah, 5,000.
You can do the whole shit for them.
Yeah, guess what? They're gonna have it because they selling tickets. You know what I'm saying? They got sponsors. A lot of them don't have media. So, now you're bringing a live podcast to the event. Yeah. It's a benefit.
I remember I spoke at some event. It was like the Fitness Business Summit. This was like years ago. And this one dude, man, he had like a room at the event. I guess he was cool with the host or whatever, but he was pulling people aside to do he was doing podcasts behind things. So I said and did a podcast with him, talking for like 30 minutes.
That's what you do.
And he had video and he had a mobile setup and he was grabbing speakers and it was jumping on his now I'm on his podcast.
100%. So you could do something where you charge them to just pay you to bring that added value, which is the benefit for them if you're giving them all the content. Or you could do a run and gun. So I actually have an event pop up next week where I'm collaborating with my guy David Palatalk. So we're helping people. He helps people speak from the stage, like master message from the stage.
Okay,
obviously
that's the bald dude.
No, he got the beard.
Oh no,
paint his power. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's in Miami, the 8th to the 10th. But I told a friend of mine, you know Bishop? Marvel Bishop.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know Bishop. Yeah,
tall,
that's the homie. He be everywhere, man.
Yeah. So I said, he's just kind of starting his joint. I'm like, bro, come to the event. I'm literally gonna be telling people that they need to make content. They need to use their voice. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I will direct them to you. $100 to get your little podcast real quick. I'm like, bro, dope. you're gonna make like 1,000. You probably make like 1,000 or something.
And just make sure you have your ringer off when you do your pods. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yo, that'd be cool for Bishop because he know everybody, man.
If you do that and you pull up and it's literally an event like that, it's a no-brainer. Because you're gonna leave with the content. That's what they want, bro. Yeah. They want the content. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm gonna knock out these interviews, $100. Shoot it. I'm gonna ask you the questions you want me to ask. So I have some questions for you. You leave with the files. I'll give them to you right now. It's a no-brainer. Or I'll give you a content folder at the end of the night.
I like what you said about just starting small. Because I remember before Fresh and Fit started, Myron had a different podcast, right? It was called Unplugged Fit or some shit. And we did it via Zoom. Like I was one of his first guests. You know what I'm saying? We did it like via Zoom or some shit. And he just threw it up. And it looked to me, like, I don't know if he had a mic or anything, but as he made more money and he got more into it, he like grew it. And this shit keep growing. They have more equipment every time I'm there. You know? Yeah, no, that makes sense. So ain't no excuse not to start. You can just start with
I would use StreamYard or Riverside.
Yeah.
Or even Zoom, bro.
Yeah. And your MacBooks. the new ones, man, they got good mics and the HD.
The camera's questionable. The camera's kind of
the best camera on the laptop that I've seen is Surface, Microsoft Surface.
Okay, I haven't seen that
Surface
was a joint to fold up.
Yeah, they got a few different ones. Like you NFL, those are the ones everyone knows. But on the sidelines, they got a deal, so everybody got a Surface.
Yeah,
or they got a Surface laptop. They got a bunch of different Surfaces.
Oh, so it's like a Surface tablet.
Yeah, they got a tablet. They got laptops. They got all types of shit. You know, but their cameras are the best I've seen in a laptop, and their audio is like really good too. You know, if you down with PC shit, but but the new Macs are straight. You know what I'm saying? Like this is one of the newer MacBook Airs, and with the right light, I could do it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like with the right light, I could do it.
Yeah. And lights are not even that expensive. Like again, like if you get something like this, I mean, that's not really that expensive. Or you can get a kit. You know what I'm saying? You get a nice little LED kit.
How much these lights, Nima?
They cost about $1,500 each with the dome.
Oh, it's only $1,500?
Yeah. That's it. Listen, you don't got to get these ones specifically. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Amazon will give you because the dome, and then I forget what you call this thing.
The fucking waffle shit.
I call it a balloon, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get that with the waffle thing. You can find that probably like $150 on Amazon.
A cheaper one? Yeah.
You don't gotta get that.
Yeah, these
are lanterns aren't expensive though. The lanterns might be $300, $400, depending on which one you want. But that's and then obviously you need the light.
We got the lights behind us, man. Making it purple and shit. Some other shit. All right, and then but we also got what was that? We got the switcher that he uses to switch the cameras.
The ATEM Mini.
That's the ATEM Mini ISO.
Yeah.
ATEM Mini Extreme ISO.
Yeah.
We got that bitch, and then the audio is going through the Rodecaster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then we got 4 mics.
Yeah, 4 mics.
40 Shure.
4 headphones.
This is the Shure what?
Yeah.
This is the one. The podcast one.
Yeah.
The Shure.
It's like, yo, just give me a Shure mic.
Yeah,
I just need to see a logo.
I know these. I know this mic. I think it's the S57 or some shit. I know Michael Jackson recorded Thriller on this shit.
Oh, word?
Yeah, because Mike's an alto, right? So his voice is super high, but this like brings out the bass tones in your voice. So it's good enough for Thriller.
It's good enough for me.
It's good enough for me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But all right, cool.
Yo, are there any questions?
Oh yeah, what's up with the super chats? Is there any for him? Or let's answer all the super chats.
We got super chats.
Let's go.
Well, if they had any podcast questions, or anything
let's
like
see.
That, so we can definitely get with those.
We have Spin City headquarters. My G's, this is great to see and hear.
All right, shout out to you, brother.
Spin City is popping.
We have Ruben Moreno. What are your thoughts about having a side business without sacrificing a job that's a career? I haven't started, but even if the business was successful, it would feel weird to throw away a career because the business has a risk of failing, and careers are stable and careers are stable.
I know a lot of people who do that shit, right? So for example, with my high ticket trainers, some people, they start an online training business, but they have a career. There's one dude in particular, I forget his name, but he was from Canada. He was an engineer, and he really liked engineering. He just he had a love for fitness too, so he started that business on the side, and he was making like over 6 figures from his side business, but he kept his engineering job, right? It was just something he was doing on the side, working like 20 hours a week on it, but he enjoyed it. He enjoyed helping people accomplish their fitness goals and building social media, but he didn't want to stop engineering, whatever that means, right? He didn't want to stop doing that, and it was cool, and it's just something that he had. So yeah, you could definitely do that. If your goal is to keep your career, ain't no such thing as extra money, and if it's something you enjoy or something you got a passion for, then I recommend you do that.
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
Or even like
I don't think everybody needs to quit what they do to do some in entrepreneurship.
Nah.
You can do both.
You can do both.
Especially if you love the job
shit.
And you're like, you know what, I got time, but I like this too. Let me do this too.
And like if somebody was like starting a podcast, right? They probably got a job. You know what I'm saying? Like they probably do something else. And this would be the way you got it set up, it'd be like a side business.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure. That's dope.
And they can actually turn it into a business
if they want.
So we can talk about that next.
Yeah. All right, cool. What else we got?
We have Marcus. Do a pod with RSD Max.
What up, man? Yo, I was on his podcast. He was in America for the first time like 2 weekends ago, and we were speaking at my boys. I was speaking at my boys' mastermind, and he was one of the guests there. This dude Max, right? But he pulled me aside and said, "Hey, man, can you do a podcast with me at the event?" I was like, "Yeah, it's cool." Before it started, so that's kind of like your shit.
Yeah,
same shit you were saying. Yeah,
I mean, even if you don't charge, it's a great place to build relationships. You know what I'm saying? You can build a lot. So like, if someone hit you up and it was like, "Yo, King Keto, bro, can I take it to lunch?"
Yeah.
It's like, nah, it's wasting my time, bro.
Yeah, man, I can buy my own food
100%, and you just want to steal from me because you want to take me to lunch for $20 or in Miami $100 or whatever, and then you want to ask me everything. Like, I'm not gonna ask you nothing. You're gonna ask me everything.
Yeah.
Right? But if I'm like, yo, would you come on the podcast? That's valuable for the person that you want to connect with, because they're like, yeah, give me this content.
Yeah.
And now they're open and want to talk. They're like, yeah, ask me whatever. From my story to what I do to how I started to how I'm getting money.
That's a fact.
How I survived from whatever I went through.
Because where I live in Miami, it's like like it's pretty centralized. I can get to anywhere in the city in a decent amount of time. And when somebody has asked me to do a podcast, if it's in Miami, I'm like, oh, all right, sure, I'll show up. It'll be some good content. We can get some clips. Like I, even if it's like smaller dudes, like a lot of times I'll show up if they got like a nice setup.
Yeah.
If it's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
I'll be saying because it's I can just take an Uber over there right quick and come back. It's no big deal. Or even speaking, like if it's in Miami and it's quick, I'll do that shit. You know what I'm saying? 100%. As long as it fits with my schedule. But and I'm not saying I'm like fucking Drake or some shit, but I'm busy enough that it's like I get it.
But it's a benefit. You're like you see more value in that than somebody's like, yo, let me take a lunch.
Yeah.
So the podcast, just on a relationship strategy alone, just to like connect with the people you want to connect with, you're gonna elevate your relationship building for way fast.
Can I buy you a coffee? And like, motherfuckers be hitting me with a buy you coffee. Like, motherfucking coffee is
theft, bro.
Fuck.
That's theft.
Yeah,
that's theft. They want to steal your IP. 100%.
Coffee is cheap as fuck, and coffee only is fuck that shit, man. Buying the lunch, man. I got a big titty girlfriend who would make some lunch. Why I want lunch from this nigga? I don't even know him.
And he's gonna steal from you.
Yeah.
Right in your face too. You'll be like, yo, thanks, bro. He's gonna be like, thanks.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you.
Game.
You know what I'm saying? He gonna steal from you, bro. 100%. But case in point, let's say you lived in, I don't know, let's say you live in New York still.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm here, right? In Miami. Two things can happen if I actually come on, if I'm like, you're coming on my podcast. I could just invest and get into New York. You would do it. Or I'd be like, yo, I'll fly to Miami. You would do it. Right? Yeah. Why? Because of the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, most people, I would say probably like 97% of people are going to say, yeah. It's going to be a very small percentage of people are going to say no. Even people that you feel like are a higher stature than you, because they know how valuable content is. Yeah. And if you run into, if you ran that digital product collaboration play, now you're able to make money with that person.
That makes a lot of sense, man. Like if you would have if you tell somebody, like, hey man, I'll give you $2,000 to come on my podcast or $3,000 or whatever, right? Then they may do it, they may not, right? Especially if in another city. It's like, I'm not going to another city for $2,000. But if you said you'd fly in first class, which would be like the same,
exactly.
Right? Then like,
they'll do it.
And if you got some points, there's some ways. It's like, and you can fly first. That sounds like doper.
Then you add in the Uber Black.
You
know what I'm saying? Like you make it an experience, right?
Yeah.
And then what you could really do if you want to enhance your situation, and this is what I feel like this is where podcasting is going. You make it like a show. So you add in those B-roll elements. I picked them up from the airport, add a story to it. You know what I'm saying? That whole, going from the airport to the show. Now you're sitting down having a conversation. What's going on post show? And now you're narrating it while you're doing a podcast.
I like that.
I think now you have more production and entertainment value.
It makes a lot of sense. Do you think it's saturated?
Nah.
Like there's so many podcasts coming out. Like some people might think it's saturated. They feel like, oh man, it's too many people doing it. Everybody got a podcast. This motherfucker got a podcast. This hoe got a podcast. These fucking cops got a podcast. Like, what athletes got podcasts? Like, how am I gonna compete?
I don't believe in it, bro. I feel like at the end of the day, there's only one you. I mean, if we go to Whole Foods, how many different types of bread is in the bread aisle?
It's mad bread.
You know what I'm saying?
It's mad bread.
So like, you can do a podcast and I can do a podcast on the exact same thing, and you're still gonna be successful, and so am I, as long as you don't quit. You know what I'm saying? We have strategies to obviously grow the show, because there's no saturation on the way that you do it. Yeah, there's no saturation on the way that I do it. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, we can get money together and be like, yo, go to Brandon's show.
Yeah, we do it.
You be like, yo, go to Brandon's show.
Yeah.
Now it's like, now we sharing guests, we're maximizing. So I don't believe in saturation in space at all.
I don't think so either, man. Like when people say this, like, man, it's like you don't listen to one artist.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? You don't go, you ain't just because you go see the fucking John Wick movie don't mean you ain't gonna see the fucking Marvel shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, like it's whatever, man. Yeah. Who do you think should start a podcast? Who shouldn't?
Yeah. I think anyone that want to grow a personal brand, I think it's one of the fastest way you can grow a personal brand. You know
tell me more about that.
So if you're someone that might have a little anxiety about content creation, you like, what should I create? I'm not really good at the editing part. You can run a live show, or you can run a jump cut style podcast where you're just kind of trimming it, and you have this type of dialogue. Yeah, like look at Joe Rogan, bro. Yeah. He don't really do nothing special. He don't even really got no clips on. I mean, he don't really got no thumbnails on his joint. Yeah, for the most part. You know what I'm saying? He's just talking. So you could do that with the intention just to build your relationships and invite people that you want to come on. Like one of my strategies, bro, is what I call pod closing. So an existing podcaster can do this, or a new person can do this, and then we can talk a little bit more about the personal brand. But if I have a podcast and I have a high ticket product, I can have a show catered to my specific clients. Yeah, invite them to come on the show, make that show a 30-minute, almost like a fact-finding type of thing. But I'm highlighting them the entire time. So I'm giving them an opportunity to talk about everything they want to talk about. But there's certain questions I'm asking to see if they qualify for what I got to offer. When a podcast is over, the know, like, trust is really high. Yeah, I'm like, yo, I mean, you kind of mentioned, this in the podcast. I mean, do you need some help with that? You know what? We actually do that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
Now you can book clients. Yeah, now you can book a call, or if the conversation is flowing and he got, him or her got time, you might better close that person right there. And they're gonna be more, opt to want to move forward with you because they spent that 30, 40 minutes with you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
Yeah. So the pod closing strategy. Now you could use that if you're a podcaster that doesn't have a high ticket, because they could collaborate with someone like you and do the same thing.
Gotcha.
And what if you hired like guest hosts to host the show? Now you don't even gotta run the podcast.
Guest hosts?
Yeah.
Whoa. How you gonna have a podcast and you not hosting a podcast?
Who said that you had to host it? It's a podcast. It's a night show featuring Jay Leno.
But sometimes it's guest hosts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Jay got to go on vacation too. He got a family.
What if you set up the podcast and the podcast was just about the actual content? If the podcast was a brand within itself, and you got guest hosts that you hired to run it, and you trained them on this strategy. Now they're basically like podcast setters in a sense. And they can get a commission on those deals if you're using a podcast as a pod closing tool.
Okay, I never thought about it.
And you still got the content that you can put out that attract more people to come on the podcast.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Let me ask you a question: should somebody start a podcast with just them? Like this shit is like me most of the time, right? Yeah. Or should you have guests? Because I remember when Fresh and Fit was first started, like Myron was like always, he was hitting me up like, yeah, can you introduce me to this person, get him on? Because they didn't have like it popping yet. And I would do it, but I was like, man, that seems hectic. I don't want my shit to be around guests. As a result, though, I think I've sacrificed like growth of it because of that, but what are your thoughts?
I think it's a little bit of both. If you're someone you like, I don't think I can get these people, and you have something to say, you can build a pretty good brand, just you. Yeah, right.
Are there? Can you think of successful podcasts to do that without having guests?
Rachel Rogers.
Yeah,
she's an 8-figure entrepreneur. It's just her. Yeah, you know what I'm saying Rachel Rogers. I know her specifically because I listen to her podcast. I'm trying to think of someone else.
I was thinking Joe Buttons because initially it was just him. Yeah. Rory and Maul.
But I mean, it's just him and his guests now. The co-hosts.
They have mad co-hosts now, and they be having guests now
every now and again.
But initially, it was just them three guys, And that's when I used to listen to that shit all the time, right? That was some of the funniest shit. And I was like, okay, that's what I want. I don't, because it's not dependent on the guest. It was like, I just want to see what they talking about.
I think if you have a best friend, y'all got a really good relationship, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just be cutting up anyway. Oh, my fault.
Yeah, that's all good.
And y'all be cutting up anyway. I think that's a good pod you can do.
Yeah.
I think if you're in a relationship, that's a great podcast too. Because it's like you can be you, your girl can be your girl, y'all just having conversations. You know what I'm saying? If you can find a good dynamic with an individual naturally, or maybe like there's a friend of mine, and every time we hang out, we always be kind of going back and forth, just on some sarcasm. I always be talking shit. She be talking shit to me. That could probably be a good show. You know what I'm saying? So anyone that you have some type of chemistry with, I think you don't need the guests. You can rock with that.
Me and my boy, like for a long time, man. Me and my boy Mike Rashid, we was something, man. We should have one together. But he lived in LA, and I'm not the biggest fan of Los Angeles. So I was like, I ain't going to be flying out there, and it was just like logistics.
But that's
but that would have been fucking dope.
You could do it. You could do it on StreamYard though.
Yeah.
Or Riverside.
Do you think that's good as in person?
Yeah. No, it's not as good as in person.
Yeah.
But it's still solid.
Think
about EYL. All the whole thing virtual.
Who's EYL?
Earn Your Leisure.
The homies. They be
everything virtual.
Time. Yeah,
everything.
Them the homies.
They got multiple different segments. They all virtual.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Them the homies.
So you could definitely do it for sure.
I don't know them. I know the investor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The homie. You know what I'm saying? All right. What about? Damn, I had a question right in my top of my head. Fuck, I need to get better at this. What about? Fuck, I had the question right. You ever had something you just forget about,
bro?
That's why not everybody can do it. That's why not everybody can't do it.
For me,
live,
it'd be like people's names, bro. I'd be like, what's that? I'd be looking for people. I'd be like, what? I have to remember like something that they did, or what city they in, or what shirt they had on, something to be remember what they got going on.
Is it? But would you say it's easier to grow the pod if you have like guests?
Yeah, it's easier
because I'd imagine you can. Their
popularity. You're leveraging them. So I have you could do guests. Guests is definitely gonna help you accelerate it. But there's something else I got called the 4P strategy.
What's the 4P strategy?
Podcast, post, promo plan. What do you do when you drop a podcast? Most people just post and hope.
Yeah.
You're like, I hope somebody see this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you can email blast it, text message blast it, posting on LinkedIn. You know what I'm saying? Post the main on YouTube. Maybe you got segments like Shannon Sharp, like Club Shay.
Yeah.
He be dropping 30 drops of one pod.
Before the fucking full pod come out.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like he's doing a fucking launch.
That's what I'm
pre-launch for the fucking pod.
So you got the segments, you know what I'm saying? Dropping in different Facebook group communities, maybe on X. So there's like, what are maybe the 4, 5, 10 things that you do every time you drop an episode to get more visibility?
Have some SOP.
Yeah. So that's a 4P strategy. Because most people only posting it on YouTube, maybe posting it on the audio platforms, and be like, yo, I'm gonna see you new episode next week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's it.
What's more important, the audio or the video? Because I'm gonna be honest, we kind of I don't check the stats on like our fucking podcast. What it's doing, how many downloads it got. I don't even know what that means. I don't know it, but I just think about the video. But I come from fucking YouTube and shit, right? Yeah. What's more important?
I would say that the video is more important at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Video is way more important. I'm even listening to podcasts on YouTube.
Yo,
I'd rather get YouTube Premium, lock my phone, and be doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to Spotify or Apple Pods. No more.
Back in the day, this is like, I don't know, 5, 6, maybe longer than that. Flagrant podcasts. They used to be called Flagrant 2, right? And it was a sports podcast. They only talked about sports. It was Andrew, the fucking other the Indian dude. I think I don't want to be racist, but I think he Indian. And then they had another black dude, and I think they had Alex too. He wasn't talking. He was just like actually just behind doing what Nima do, right? And I listened to that podcast all the time, but never on like Apple Podcasts. I had YouTube Premium. I just put that shit on my phone. I would listen to that. That was like the only podcast I watched. It was when it was Flagrant 2 and when it was the Joe Budden pod.
Yeah.
Back when it was Rory and Maul and them. And I listen only on YouTube.
Yeah, that's how I like to.
Yeah, you got to,
listen
but
to
not
podcasts.
everybody got YouTube Premium.
You gotta get the premium. I mean,
it's a better experience.
You could do it without it, but premium is definitely better experience.
Nah, because you can turn it off.
No commercials, then you can turn it off.
You can close the app.
Yep.
And then just keep listening.
Yeah.
So I would be walking around New York listening to Pocket, but it was on YouTube.
And then if you want to watch it, you just pull it out.
Yeah. So
and there's no commercials.
So you think now YouTube has a podcast thing? They have some. What's that podcast shit that YouTube got?
They got a podcast playlist. So basically like they spend money to like focus on the podcast experience on YouTube.
Yeah.
They basically this is what I feel. I feel like they're gonna eventually have a RSS feed on YouTube, because then you don't even need to use Buzzsprout or Red Circle. You're gonna post the video on there, so you might as well just put everything on there.
Yeah.
So they just have a section on YouTube where you can put all your podcast episodes in the playlist, and that's what's highlighted. You know what I'm saying, on people's channels. If you have a podcast, you can turn it on or off or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So the video is more important. That's why you got to get the cameras. You got to get the light.
Yeah, you need that for
Gone are the days when you can just fucking talk.
Yeah. No, listen. People want to see what you got going on.
Yeah, and then you can promote it too with the clips.
Because listen, no one's really rocking with, like, when's the last time you heard somebody talking about like Clubhouse? You know what I'm saying? So at least you get the clips. Even if your podcast ain't popping, it might pop off on vertical.
Yeah, I mean, that's how Fresh and Fit blew up.
That's what I'm saying.
Off the crazy clips.
Yeah, the clips are what's going to drive more traffic to the podcast, because some people might even know that you have the long form. They might discover it from the clips.
Yeah. What kind of topics do you think are best or easier to start a podcast?
Health, wealth, relationships, and I think health, wealth, relationships are obviously the top.
Okay.
And then having some type of like controversial subjects. I think what's kind of cool now is like your show's cool. Anton Daniels, like people that kind of talk about what's going on in the world or what's going on, in their life, but you can tune in daily to capture your perspective on a subject or two. Because I'm a fan of you. Oh, you're gonna be talking about the new car or this new restaurant. You know what I'm saying? I think that podcasting, if you're in the city, you could build relationships with like restaurants or hotels, do a show there. You know what I'm saying? Or go there and like vlog that experience. You can have more layers to what you put out there content wise. You know what I'm saying? Again, because you're gonna give it more depth. Like earlier, you talked about the saturation. Well, that means if people potentially think it's saturated, it's gonna be easy to diversify yourself if you just add in a couple of different elements.
Okay.
Your show, hey, listen, sometimes
Yeah,
once a month I do a show over here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, on this episode, we stopped by the coffee shop over here to get. I actually never had, a mochaccino or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I brought one for my guests. Hey, try this. Okay, I'm gonna try this. Right. So add in different elements. That's why I think Hot Ones was
because they
popular.
fucking talking, eating chicken.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can bring different elements to make your podcast or your show, which I feel like a hybrid is like kind of like where we're leaning towards.
Yeah, because Hot Ones, who listens to that shit? You got to watch that.
Yeah, you got to watch it.
I didn't even think about it as a podcast. I guess it is, but I thought about it as like a fucking show.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like we had a really good. Had actually two people that had really good shows. They could have been podcasts, but they gave you more experience. This is kind of like what inspired me to start content on YouTube, and like my podcast in 2018 was the most expensive-ish. With 2 Chainz, and then Action Bronson Food Show.
Oh yeah.
So those two shows, because it's like you got a lot of entertainment value out of those shows. 2 Chainz was trying the most extravagant, expensive, whatever. You know what I'm saying? From like bottled water to like air to like he just found things that was expensive. Talked about in that was the episode, and then Action Bronson was cooking up stuff, or he was going to different restaurants trying food.
But those couldn't be podcasts. Those had to be shows.
They're shows, but that's what I'm saying. That's more expensive. That's more interesting than just sitting down, getting that same thing you're gonna get from every single show. That's why you kind of do a hybrid. That's why I think like having some type of introduction, production value, then having your conversation, whether you're doing it in the studio or out of studio, and then just having a nice little ending, like narrated in a sense. That's gonna make it 10 times more interesting.
This what? So what's the difference between, in your opinion? What's the difference between a podcast and a show?
So a show's gonna be way more dynamic. It's a lot more elements.
Like
lot
you
more
have to watch it.
It's gonna have some level of production value. Yeah. It's gonna force you to watch. It may not necessarily be in the audio form, which it could be. Yeah. Right. Because it's just telling the story. I don't know what to expect. It scenes might change. Podcast, I'm gonna be sitting down in the same spot where I'm at. Yeah. The camera angles might change, but I know I'm gonna
just talk.
Next week I'm gonna get the same thing. He's just gonna have somebody else sitting down. Yeah. The week after that, it's gonna be the same thing. Someone else sitting down.
Was Rush Limbaugh a show or a podcast? What was radio?
Yeah, so it was radio. So essentially, it was a pod.
Yeah, and that's like it's kind of like how the Breakfast Club. It could be it's a podcast, right? It's a podcast. But it's a show.
It's a radio show.
It's a radio show.
Mm-hmm. But so it's like the worlds are blended. Place every single time.
Yeah. So that's more. That would be more of the podcast than a show.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
Yeah,
even though it's on, or even like Club Shay Shay. Right. That's more of a podcast, but now, it's a show.
Now, the two things that I've seen Shannon do, I forget who was the host. I mean, who was the guest, but he interviewed someone in the car on an episode not too long ago. Yeah. Right. So that kind of gives in another dynamic, but he only did it because that's probably the only way he could have got that. But the next one season, he's back in the studio. Yeah. But if he added a little bit of production value where he kind of narrate the intro, like let's say Kamala Harris, right? Because he just had her on. He could have been like outside of the studio. All right, guys. So today's episode, we got Kamala on. I have on the nice little fit. This fit I got from XYZ. She's running to be the president. She's already in the office, so it's kind of interesting that she has to run just to stay back in the crib. Anyway, we're gonna have an amazing conversation with her. Let's just get right in the studio. You see him kind of walk in. She's already sitting there. Hey, Kamala, what's going on?
That'd have been more of a show.
It's more production
experience.
value.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
But if I just click and every show is the same thing, there's nothing wrong with that. But these little small things are what's going to differentiate your show.
Right. He doesn't have to worry about it because he's on fucking TV every day. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Chico. Hall of Fame on ESPN. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Chico.
What kind of skills does somebody have to start a podcast? Like what kind of skills should they try to develop in order to have a successful podcast?
I think the number one thing is confidence. You know what I'm saying? Because some people just get nervous being around people.
Yeah, or talking like some people are cool just talking to one person, but if they know there's like people watching,
or they got a camera on or lights,
people get weird. Or I've seen people get real weird in front of cameras.
No, they do. And
I think it's normal. I think I was weird at first.
It's kind of crazy to me too, because in real life people fuck up all the time, and you can't erase that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You can't rewind that, can't delete that. So it's people want other people to be forgiving, but when you have a camera on, you can like not drop it or delete it. Yeah, or destroy the car
unless it's live like this shit.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Right? but people are more nervous with that than they are in actual real life.
Yeah, you know what it is, man. I just stopped. I never wanted to be perfect, right? I like highlight my flaws. So like now, if I fuck up, it's like, oh, I just fucked up. Whatever. Yeah. Fuck it. It's part of the show. Leave it in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I embraced it, so I didn't have. So now there's no anxiety about being perfect. Because I know it's not going to be perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And that's how I can do it like live. Like not everyone can do this shit.
Yeah.
You know?
So I think confidence, have some type of conversational skills. You got to be able to talk to people. I think someone that can speak and think at the same time. Because I can speak to you. I'm like, okay, he said this. I'm going to bring this into the conversation next.
Yeah.
I think that's a high level skill. So if you could do something like that, damn, you still ain't turning your phone off?
It's actually an alarm. It's like, so I know
it's over.
I leave it. I know, this is the end, and I know, we got 30 minutes.
Yeah, facts. But yeah, something like that too. Like being able to like, kind of think on your toes or be charismatic. You know what I'm saying? Be able to kind of like going back and forth with someone.
Yeah, and
be able to take a joke.
Just takes practice.
Yeah,
right?
it takes practice. I think being able to digest like other mediums too helps. Like you read, if you watch pods, if you watch shows, documentaries, because all that stuff you store and you can bring it back out when your brain figures out, oh, this is relevant.
You have more reference points.
More reference points. You know what I'm saying? Things like that's good.
That's cool, man. Where can they find out more information about you?
Man, listen, across all platforms, it's Brandon Boyd. So it's literally the same. ITSBRENDAN BOYD, not Brandon.
Yeah, it's
Brendan.
Brendan. Come on.
And then I got a couple giveaways. You know,
you got some giveaways?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Let's go.
I got a couple giveaways. I got a podcast course I can give them. That's going to teach them how to monetize.
Oh, it's free.
Yeah, it's 100% free, and it comes with a 45-minute workshop replay.
Okay,
where I kind of go over some of the strategies that we talked about. Yeah, and they could like play it, pause it, stop it, screen record. I don't care what they do.
Do we put that in the description?
Yeah, it's in the description. But if they're watching right now, it's 100kpodcastprogram.com. 100kpodcastprogram.com. All right. And if they want to spend time with me, I'm doing an event in December.
Oh,
so they can spend 5 days with me for $97. Okay. Actually, you know what? This weekend it'll be $47.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? If you buy a ticket tomorrow till Sunday night, $47.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? But it's 5 days where we're gonna teach you how to master your message. You know what I'm saying? Fund your message. Yeah. And securing your message on podcasting.
I like it, man. I like it. And all the links to that gonna be in the description. Guys, this has been another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday.
And we could do a collab on this, technically. A digital collab on this joint.
You know what it is,
you know
man. What I'm saying? We do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yo, if you haven't already, make sure you join the newsletter, Big Money Methods, and join the Discord. We in there getting money. We're going to show you how to do it too. I'll holla at y'all. Peace.